It's college football on ESPN2 from Louisville, Kentucky, as the number 18 Cardinals host their cross-state rivals, the University of Kentucky Wildcats. Hi, everybody. Mark Malone, along with my broadcast partner, Sean Salisbury. Glad you could be with us here. A lot more at stake for the Cardinals than the Governor's Trophy. There have been whispers they could be the first non-BCS team to crash the bowl party this year. If that's going to happen, Dave Ragone, their Heisman hopeful quarterback, is going to have to put up Heisman-like numbers, and it's got to start tonight.
And their head coach, Coach Smith, has tried to temper that excitement because he said they haven't had too many great practices this fall. Couple that with the changes, 4 new ones on offensive line, 2 new starters at wide receiver, 3 new offensive coaches, 1 including the offensive coordinator. They need to temper that a little and come out here smoking early on, Mark.
Their opponent, the University of Kentucky, well, they've been crippled by probation. Their second-year head coach, Guy Morris, has been left to pick up the pieces, playing for his job. A win over this football team, the Cardinals, would make their season.
There's no question about it. We got to give Coach Morris a chance with the hand that he's been dealt. But if the Wildcats get to 4 or 5 victories this year, they will stand on their head. This football team needs to deal with the Louisville pressure defense to have any kind of chance to win this ball game tonight.
John L. Smith, the head coach of the Louisville Cardinals, in his 5th season here, has done a wonderful job at 34-15. He's turned programs around everywhere he has been. An old cowboy from Idaho, as Kentucky has won the toss. Wade Tidlachka will be kicking off, the junior, 5'11", 199 pounds. Number 5, Arliss Beach, a freshman running back, deep to return. And we're off. Derek Abney, from just inside the end zone, brought down about the 24-yard line. So Kentucky takes the ball, and the hefty lefty, Jared Lorenzen, perhaps the heaviest player ever to play the quarterback position at this level, says he's listed at 275, Sean.
Yeah, Mark, are you buying that? He told us he's between 292 and 300 pounds, and I guarantee, looking at the game, he's a M&M away from 305.
It's hard to imagine somebody that large actually playing the quarterback position, but he can sling it.
Look for this screen right off the bat here, Mark.
Green left. R.T. Pinner, the senior running back. Take a look at the rest of the Kentucky offense. Pinner, who just caught the screen, hoping to get 20 to 25 touches tonight. Derek Abney, who received the kickoff, the leading receiver, 66 with 6 touchdowns a year ago. Harp, the tight end. Offensive line averaging about 6'5", just under 300 pounds. They're anchored by their big left guard, Jason Rollins. 2nd and 14. High formation, Lorenzen audibly. Nothing. Take a look at that Louisville defense up front. They're led by the defensive end, Dwayne White. 15 of his career, 27 sacks came last year. That's the linebacker spot, Rod Day. First-year starter, Michael Brown, the bandit position, the unsung hero in this defense. The secondary, one of the best in the country. 17 interceptions a year ago, featuring the stick and pick tandem of Curry Burns and Anthony Floyd at the safety spots. 3rd and 14 from the shotgun. Lorenzen under pressure. Dwayne White, Devon Thomas on the play.
Sure not the way you want to start off your opening series on the road. 3 negatives. Here we go. You're already in a long yardage situation. We said they got to deal with the pressure. Lorenzen not exactly fleet of foot. No shot there. Going to force the punt, 3 and out. Not a way you want to start this football game, Mark.
White says he likes the bull rush. He bull rushed there. The first punt tonight by Glenn Pakolak. Received on the 45-yard line by Anthony Floyd. Makes a couple people miss and finally brought down at the 43-yard line. A return of 12 yards on the play. Now Louisville gets the ball. Dave Ragone, the Heisman candidate hopeful, over 3,000 yards passing a year ago and 23 touchdowns, Sean.
He could have gone to the NFL for millions and a first-round pick, but he told his teammates he made a commitment to the guys he came in with. He wanted to come back and finish up, and he did just that. Should be a big season for this kid.
Both quarterbacks tonight left-handed, somewhat unusual.
Big and left-handed, aren't they?
They are. Shotgun formation, 4 wide receivers. Ragone takes off and is tripped up. Is there a fumble on the play? Jeremy Cottle on the play for the Wildcats. It's ruled down, no fumble. As we take a look now at that Kentucky defense, they're anchored by the 6'3", 311-pound Dwayne Robertson. At linebacker, the 5th-year senior, Ron Riley, who missed all of last year with knee surgery, will make all the defensive calls tonight. And the secondary is a veteran one, but they are a little bit banged up. Leonard Burris, a hernia. Derek Tatum has a knee. And that's Lionel Gates making his first career start at running back. The sophomore, 6 foot, 224 pounds, picks up a couple.
You know, Mark, interesting. Ronnie Riley, the inside linebacker senior for Kentucky, said he didn't believe that Louisville could run the football on him. If they were going to have to pass to beat him, he felt Kentucky's front 7 was far more physical, or really a front 8 is what they run, far more physical than Louisville's was in the run game.
Well, the Louisville offensive line has been rebuilt. Coons, really the only returning starter. They're probably trying to protect him a little bit by running the ball. A quick pass to Jent, Ronnie Jent, who is the returning leading receiver on this football team, and that's good enough for a first down.
That's real simple play, Mark, with the 3 wides, and we know Jent is their leading receiver. It's a good person to lean on if you're the quarterback at third down. Here you see Ragone sets his feet quickly, nobody around him, a simple zone route, little outcut, Jent gets it, moves the chains. You'll see a lot of that today from their best wide receiver, if you want to call him a tight end, but he's got the most catches on that team.
11 yards on the completion. Cumbie, the free safety, making the stop. 2 tight end shotgun. Ball tipped in the air. Incomplete. And what we're seeing early on here, again with this young offensive line, is the ball getting out real quick, Sean.
Yeah, you've seen every pass, Mark. He's taking quick 1 or 2, 3, as we see on the replay. You've got to create a new line of scrimmage, not in the run game, but in the pass also. Getting pressure in Ragone's face. The greatest thing you can do as a lineman, get your hand up. And you saw Burns get his hand up there, knock the ball down. If you're going to get blocked, make it difficult on the big left-hander to make the completion.
So we're at 2nd and 10 now. 4 new starters on that offensive line for the Cardinals. In motion, J.R. Russell. Immediate pressure. Is that a lateral? That is a lateral. No, they're waving it now incomplete. It looked like a lateral to me, Sean.
Oh, they missed one there. They missed one there. Now take a look at this, Mark. Remember, a lateral is where the quarterback is if it goes back. You're going to watch this ball come back here. Here's where it should be for an incomplete. Take a look at this now. In accordance to where Ragone lines up there, start at the 6, goes about at the 36.5. That is a fumble. But hey, that's why we're up here. Third down. Not a whole lot of plays in your playbook on 3rd and 10, Mark.
John L. Smith looking on, dodges the bullet there. Big third down conversion for the Cardinals.
Get him out of bounds. Get him out of bounds.
Gone. Under pressure, moving around. Finally has to eat the football with the wide receiving core, and that's what we call a coverage sack. -5 on the play. Otis Grigsby, number 18, along with John Robinson on the play.
You bet, Mark. Their total defense, Kentucky's, was 109th last year, which is not good enough to beat a high school team. But you saw the secondary get on these receivers in there, young receivers, new starters for the most part here. When you lose Branch last year, this is a very, very important series for Kentucky to get them out of there and force this long field goal attempt. Great job by their defense under pressure.
All right, so the Cardinals are going to try a field goal here. Nate Smith, who will try a 52-yarder on this one. His numbers, longest 48 against Southern Miss last October, and this one's on its way. It's long enough, but it's wide left. And so the Cardinals move the ball down the field, but under pressure, They stalled the drive and missed the field goal. Right now we're at 0-0 with a little over 10 minutes to play in the first quarter.
No matter what changes in your life, there are two things you can count on for 10 years. And one of them comes with loads of standard features and 5 years of roadside assistance. The 2003 Kia Spectra. And right now, get $2,000 cash back on all remaining 2002 Spectras.
Driving down the road, I spot a dead emu. Having just lost my girlfriend, I decided Mike looked nice mounted in my pool room. However, it quickly becomes apparent that he's not dead. Not at all. I was a touch worried. Until I awoke in a pool hall frequented by a local sorority. And I ask you, was this coincidence or part of something bigger?
Rejuvenate your 75,000-mile engine with Pennzoil High Mileage Vehicle. The new motor oil specially formulated for the needs of your older, wiser vehicle. Pennzoil, we're driving protection.
Buy a case of Pennzoil High Mileage Vehicle and get a set of 4 floor mats, now at Kmart.
When you sign up for any AT&T wireless calling plan starting at $19.99 a month, you can get a Nokia 3360 for only $29.99 after mail-in rebate. That's M-Life from AT&T Wireless. Hurry in or call today.
Here I come. I'm going to make this move. Behind your head. Off your head. Can you stop me? I don't think so.
1-on-1 to 5-on-5. No rules, no refs, no limits, player. Real court, real moves, real ball. Straight hoops, ready team.
Welcome back to Louisville as the Cardinals host the University of Kentucky Wildcats. The Cats taking over on downs. Jared Lorenzen, the biggest man playing quarterback. Let's introduce you now to our third member of the broadcast team, Tracy Wolfson.
Thanks, guys. Well, while we're all speculating on how much Lorenzen actually weighs, Guy Morris says he doesn't care anymore. He is throwing away the scales because he's too fed up to trying to tell Lorenzen to lose some weight. So he decided to focus more on the conditioning. Well, Lorenzen says he has been running every day, all summer, all spring, and he is in the best shape of his life. Well, we'll see if he can last all 4 quarters, and we'll also see if without discipline, he can keep that weight off throughout the season.
All right, Tracy, thank you very much. It's going to be interesting indeed. Pinner on the carry there for 1 yard for Kentucky makes it 2nd and 9. You'll notice that he spent a lot of time from the shotgun, although he's under center on this play, and no place to go. Finally unloads it out of bounds. Incomplete.
That's okay, because I like the fat Luther Vandross better than I did the skinny one. Anyway, what I loved about the last play was, Mark, and let's not mistake the fact this kid could throw the football.
He can.
Is it instead of taking a sack and trying to do something stupid, and he told us he's tried to force too many balls, cause too many interceptions. Throw it out of bounds. Let's re-tee it. I know it's 3rd down. Just be smart. Keep your team from turnovers, and it'll be a better opportunity for you.
No, I don't envy Guy Morris as he tries to rein in this very talented quarterback. 3rd and 9 now for Kentucky. Under pressure, little slip screen to Ernest Sims, and he is gone the 30, the 20. Nobody's going to touch him. Touchdown, University of Kentucky, 64 yards on the play. Ernest Sims said he was the home run threat on this football team, and interestingly enough, Guy Morris and his staff spent some time with the St. Louis Rams this offseason trying to find out how they work their screen game, and there's a perfect example of how it works.
And, Mark, it is absolutely unbelievable. People talk about pressure. I expect them to run 10 or 15 screens today. If you want to deal with pressure, we'll get a chance to see that in a second after this kick. But unbelievable job of hitting it with accuracy and getting himself going.
The extra point is up, and it's good. And Kentucky finds themselves leading early in this football game with 9:11 to play.
Great job, and when you get the ball and guys who can run, they're going to put a lot of pressure on Lorenzen. He does a great job of setting up the screen. Little pump fake, accurate throw, Deal with the pressure. That's what a screen is. Draw the rush, and the rest is history. Get a man in the open field for a touchdown. Speed. Here it is again. Pressure. Pump fake. They didn't get to the big fella that time. Result, big play on the road. Way to set the tone after a horrible first offensive series today.
They did not even block Keyshawn Lowe. They just let him go, and then Sims did the rest. Nobody was going to catch him. 64 yards on the play, and all of a sudden this crowd has gotten a little quiet here at Papa John Stadium.
And you remember the first play from scrimmage for them was that try to throw the screen to the tight inside the closed side. Well, what they did there, a little fake to the closed side, come back to the open side, and those receiver screens can be awesome, Mark, if you get the ball in the fast guy's hands. Great job by Sims, accurate throw by Lorenzen. We got ourselves an early ball game.
And it's indicative of what we expect here, a lot of quick scoring. 3 plays, 65 yards in under a minute for Kentucky. And now the pressure is on Dave Ragone and the Cardinals as we await the kickoff. Taylor Begley doing the duties, and he sends it deep out of the back of the end zone. There'll be no return there. Broderick Clark fields it. And now it's Dave Ragone's turn. Tremendous amount of pressure, decided to return for his senior year. And I'll tell you what, this is a committed guy who has a big arm and a very focused individual.
And Mark, he cares about his teammates. There you see the passing yards, which will go up, even though he's got new guys. Conference USA Player of the Year for 2 years in a row. The key one here is every 55 passes, 1 pick. So even though he's got the big arm and they put all the pressure on him, he does not throw the ball to the other team. He will keep Louisville in every game this year because of it.
Right now, 1 of 3, 11 yards. He's been sacked once and under pressure early on. Lionel Gates, the sophomore running back, who made his first career start tonight, gets the carry. That's good for 4 yards off the right side. Dustin Williams with a stop.
And Mark, we talk about Ragone and Louisville as a passing. You know, they lose Branch and Parker last year, 2 big-time players. But the thing about this is you've got to make some commitment to the run, regardless how good your quarterback is. We've seen it in the NFL with Favre, with Peyton last year, Manning, that if you're not running the ball and you got injuries and you put all the pressure on your quarterback, you get yourself in trouble.
I agree, and John L. Smith was concerned about this young offensive line. Wanted to protect them early. We have a 3-wide set, no protection here, empty backfield. The back motioning out, ball down the field, under pressure, incomplete, intended for Gents, the tight end. But again, pressure in his face even when he gets it out on time, Sean.
And that is what Kentucky wanted to do, give a bunch of different looks and pressure Ragone, knock him on his back. And we're going to track how many times they hit him in the mouth this football game. It's not just sacks, Mark, as you and I both play the position. It's those pressures and those hits in the mouth that start to wear on you throughout the football game.
They add up. And let's, again, remind you that this is a revamped wide receiver corps. They lost their 2 top wide receivers, Branch and Parker, as they face 3rd and 6 now. Quick, again under pressure, again he misses, intended for Damian Dorsey, the senior, 5'7", 172 pounds, and again, they face 4th down and a punt.
Knocked to the ground again. Ragone, I imagine he's going to start to get in some people's face. That's an untouched guy down there at the bottom of your screen. Hits him, knocks him to the ground, and you saw the route, Mark. It looks like timing's a little off, and we expected that early on for Louisville. You like how I say Louisville? Do I got it down right?
Been around here. You've had a couple of mint juleps. Wade Sidlachka is back to punt. Derek Abney, go-to wide receiver for Kentucky, to receive. Fair catch. So Kentucky now will take over on the 38-yard line, a 37 punt, no return. We're back to Louisville. Kentucky leading 7-0.
It's your thing. Do what you want to do. I can't tell you who to sock it to. All right.
Cold filtered MGD. Pure beer for a pure night out.
No matter what what changes in your life, there are two things you can count on for 10 years. And one of them comes with loads of standard features and 5 years of roadside assistance. The 2003 Kia Spectra. And right now, get $2,000 cash back on all remaining 2002 Spectras.
Bottled water getting expensive. Try pure filtered water. Just as good as bottled at a price that's 10 times less. Doesn't that sound better? Pure water filters. Your water should be pure. Besides saving you money, the Pure Water filter is so easy to install and use, you already have all the tools you need. Pure Water filters. Your water should be pure.
Get more than 100 additional games with the ESPN Game Plan College Football Pay-Per-View Package. It's maximum college football. To order, call your local cable operator, DirecTV, or Dish Network.
ESPN2's presentation of primetime college football. Brought to you by Kia Motors, makers of a full line of quality cars, backed by a 10-year warranty program.
Welcome back to the Derby City, Louisville, Kentucky, as the number 18 ranked Cardinals are hosting the University of Kentucky Wildcats. The Cats out to a fast 7-0 start on John L. Smith's Cardinals, and they take over 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Slot right, I formation, draw play, R2 spinner. Let's go down out of the sidelines and Tracy Wolfson.
Well, Kentucky's issue this year is depth. So they had to find some way to avoid injuries during the summer. So what they did was they only practiced in full pads 2 times all summer. And they actually lessened their scrimmages and their practices, hoping to avoid any injuries. So we'll see if they can continue doing that. But we'll also see if that they can avoid the injury, because by not tackling and not bringing the guy down to the ground and not making those big tackles, that can really hurt them.
All right, Tracy, we'll keep an eye on that. That's Pinner as Lorenzen scrambles away from trouble, dumps it out, picks up 17 yards. And conditioning certainly starts with the quarterback, but a lot of movement from this football team, and Lorenzen, even though he's probably bordering 300 pounds.
No doubt about it. He doesn't have any bricks on his feet. Take a look at this. This is a big man with some really good feet, buying himself some time. That's the main position at quarterback. What you got to do, buy time to enable you to do this. Nice soft touch, grabs him a 1st down. That's a huge play.
And he's just not got the cannon. He's got all the throws. They run the football up inside tough with Pinner. Again, trying to get him at least 20 to 25 carries in this ball game to slow down that Cardinal offense. He picks up 4 on that play.
And, you know, Mark, what Tracy said about conditioning, and we'll see how that works out. But there's 2 ways to look at it. Do you want fresh legs, which Coach obviously Morris needed? But the other side, and we know Coach John L. Smith said he doesn't know how his team would do that by not tackling people to the ground. So it's all about that intensity. It looks early on like Kentucky's taking on that accountability.
What surprises me is it's just not finesse. They're running the football here at the Cardinals on 2nd and 6. And again, Penner right up the middle between the tackles. Picks up about another 3 yards on the play. And this guy, had about 100 carries last year for a little over 400 yards. A guy they really believe has NFL talent, and they're making it a point that he's going to be a bigger part of the offense this year.
Not only that, Mark, you've got a guy who can get out in the open field and run. And they got him listed there 219. Coach told us yesterday, 238 pounds.
He's big time. 3rd and 2. We'll see if he gets the ball on this carry. Got double tight end I formation, and bang, again, right between the tackles. Good enough for a 1st down. And right now it's about attitude. They're just taking it to that Cardinal defense.
Mark, you hit it right on the head. It's all about attitude and short yards. I don't care if you put 11 guys up there. Whoever beats low man wins, usually. Nice cliche, but they do. They get down, they push him off, create a new line of scrimmage, and that's telling their Kentucky team, Coach Morris, saying, we're not just a passing team. We're going to set the tempo up front. Gives those 5 big fellas up front confidence.
Let's remind you that this Louisville defense was 10th in the nation in scoring defense a year ago, giving up just a little over 17 points a game. Lorenzen back to pass, looking deep down the sideline to the left side. His favorite target, Derek Abney, but it comes up incomplete. Josh Minkins on the play.
One of the better secondaries in America, and the reason I like this, even though it's incomplete, There you see Abney. Take your chances. There's no better coverage in the world for a receiver and a cornerback than one-on-one. Take your shots, make those guys get off, and make them respect you. But that secondary's very, very good for Louisville.
Abney coming back this year. He had 66 receptions a year ago. The primary target over 741 yards. 2nd and 10 from the shotgun under pressure. Screen to the right, but it is broken up by Ronnie Galashaw. Does a great job reading the screen, coming up and making the play. Looks to be a little shaken up. Holding his back. Let's take a closer look
now,
at this.
Mark, it's okay to throw the ball away on a screen. They do a nice job of reading it. There's 3-on-1, 3 bodies on defense, gets 1 on offense, and those are the ones Lorenzen. He takes a hit. Don't be afraid to throw that one out of bounds. Could have been a costly play.
You can't tell which is the defensive lineman laying on the ground there. 3rd and 10, and we've got a flag on the play. Play is blown dead. It's like illegal procedure on Kentucky.
Well, Mark, we're, midway through the first quarter, and we've had 3 screens now by the University of Kentucky. They're trying to keep that pressure off.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, go 3rd down. Yes.
And our first flag of the night. It's been relatively clean so far. But this can be a drive killer. You jump out to a 7-0 start. You come out with a little attitude at the next drive. You run it down their throats. You're moving the football down the field. And all of a sudden, you get a costly penalty to make it, 3rd and 14 right now, 3rd and 15.
You'd love to come out of this with 3 if you can.
Out of the shotgun, blitz. Lorenzen makes a miss, dumps it over the middle to number 84. Jeremiah Drobny. Good for 12 yards, but short of the 1st down.
But you know what, Mark? That's okay. Now you put into a situation where we got it. We're in field goal range instead of being 52 yards. Now we give our kicker a chance. Lorenzen, one of the great shows in college football, once again has bought time, give his team a chance. Now you put him in field goal range, keep points on the board, at least give yourself a team a chance to go up 10-0.
Again, he's almost 300 pounds, but he makes the free blitzer miss, and that brings on the field now Taylor Begley, the redshirt freshman, from 41 yards. This to make it 10-0 Wildcats. He's down, gets most of it. Wow, he had plenty there. That one good from 41 yards, and all of a sudden the Wildcats are shocking everybody. Find themselves up 10-0. Can Dave Ragone and the Cardinals, ranked 18th in the country, come back? We'll find out when we return.
The NFL is back. And Sports Century is kicking off NFL Week. Monday, Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis lied to the police, and they knew that he lied.
Sports Century NFL Week starts 8 p.m. Monday on ESPN Classic.
From producers Van Affleck and Sean Bailey.
It's hot in here.
It's a mystery you can solve.
I aim to get to the bottom of it all.
It's over $1 million you can win.
Yahtzee.
Push Nevada, new Thursdays this fall, 9/8 Central on ABC.
A timeless battle, Blade. A new enemy. An action-packed DVD.
So exciting.
The Army of the Night is now fully armed with scenes that reveal the secret.
They'll take us in deeper than we've ever been.
Thrilling documentaries, a word with Blade, and more. Wesley Snipes.
Not know who you are.
Blade 2. A new battle rages on a 2-disc Platinum Series DVD.
Get your Blade out.
I've always loved working on computers, and in the Army, that's what I do.
If you never thought about the U.S. Army or Army Reserve, think about this. There are 212 ways for you to become a soldier and work at a job you'll love. Call for this free video to find out which job is right for you. And if you call 1-800-645-ARMY right now, you'll also receive a free Army t-shirt with your video. Discover the 212 ways you can be an Army of One.
Welcome back to Derby City, and Louisville, number 18, shocked right now, trailing 10-0. That's the senior Damian Dorsey, trying to get guys going. Tell you what, the stadium is a little bit stunned as well.
Yeah, they are. This sea of red, Mark. Kentucky comes down the road and lets them know right off the bat this is going to be a full quarter ball game.
So Kentucky kicks off. Back to receive Broderick Clark. Takes it up the middle and is stopped immediately at the 20-yard line. 16 yards on the return. Dustin Williams on the tackle, number 59. Let's take a look at the drive chart now for the Wildcats on this. Again, after the big 64-yard screen pass to Ernest Sims to jump out to a 7-0 lead, they put a 9-play, 39-yard drive together, 3 minutes and 38 seconds, the 41-yard field goal by Begley, and find themselves up 10-0.
And the two key plays were Lorenzen buying time, getting guys the ball, one for a first down, one to get them in field goal range.
Play action for Ragone, rolling to his right, throws to Damian Dorsey. He's blanketed on the play by Claude Segal. And the Cardinals now find themselves 2nd and 10.
Boy, how can you not be impressed with the defense of Kentucky right now? We've talked a lot of offense, but they're keeping Ragone in long yardage situations. They're pressuring him every time. And those corners are bellied up playing that press man because they've been laughed at from last year being that bad as they were, Mark.
We see Louisville now moving the pocket, trying to get Ragone some time. He's 1 for 6, 11 yards, 5 straight incompletions now for the Heisman hopeful. From the shotgun, plenty of time now. Over the middle, receiver falling down, and we have a flag. Tiger Jones was the intended receiver. Leonard Burress was the man who the flag was thrown at.
Pass interference. Defense. Spot foul. Medic. First down.
Again, Ragone under pressure.
To the ground, Mark. It takes a lot of times to get a 6'5" body up on a regular basis. And you know what? Even though it was a penalty in Kentucky, I'll take that aggressiveness. I don't want to take that away from him. Guys draped all over him, still looking for some confidence in that Louisville offense.
All right, 1st and 10 for Louisville. Wing left, slot right, and they're running the ball to the 2 tight end side. T.J. Patterson on the carry, the junior, for about 3 yards. And a guy that they said is great on pass protection. He's smart. Mentally, he's great, but he just doesn't have the real breakaway speed that you get from Lionel Gates, which is why Gates started the game today.
That's exactly right. Now, when you're dropping back, you want blitz protection. Patterson's the guy, but you want open field, open space, guy who can make bigger plays for you. It's Lionel Gates, but it looks to me like the run game is just almost a passing. It's just like, let's just get this run game mixed in to take pressure off Ragone. They're going to have to pass again.
Out of the shotgun, 3 wide receivers. Jones in motion. Free blitzer. Jones ends up with a reception. A hot route here when you got the free blitzer coming off the edge.
It's free blitz, yes, but look at him put the blanket on Jet. While you're looking for a hot route, they pressure Ragone, do exactly what they're supposed to do. Run with them. Take a look at Dorsey now, the most experienced receiver. No, we're going to play him pressure too and make them make the perfect throw. Love what Kentucky's doing on defense, and once again, Ragone was under pressure.
Big down, 3rd and 7 to keep the drive alive. 3 wide receivers, 1 back, shotgun formation. Plenty of time, nobody open, and a sack. A sack on the play. As Ragone goes down again. Ellery Moore, the sophomore, 6'3", 289 pounds. And again, this is a coverage sack.
Yeah, you bet it is. The motor's running by the defensive line of Kentucky, but coverage all over him. And let's give a little bit of this pressure goes to Ragone. You can hold the ball for so long, but you're a veteran. Throw that football away. Don't take the sack.
Jason Weathers giving up the sack at the right guard position. And that brings on Wade Kudlachka. High punt, end over end. Derek Abney starts out to the left. Makes a man miss. Finally brought down just past midfield. 35 yards on the punt, 11 yards on the return. Let's send it down to our broadcast partner, Tracy Wilson.
11 yards on the return.
Well, guys, this city is known for making the Louisville Slugger bat, but I am with a Louisville Slugger right now. Aaron Alvey hit the game-winning home run in the Little League World Series against Japan. And Aaron, what has life been like since winning that championship?
It's been crazy. The publicity has been crazy too, and well, every time I go out, it's signing autographs, and I love it. Just love signing autographs for everybody.
Tell us some of the things you've been doing so far. I know there's a parade tomorrow, but what are some of the highlights that you've done so far?
I've come to this game, and Louisville, Kentucky game, and I went to the Riverbats game. I did a couple of things with our team and everything, so really good. And now we're looking for our parade tomorrow.
You've had so many star moments, as has your team, throughout these World Series. Tell us what your best memory was.
My best memory was when the last out when Casey Jordan caught that line drive, which that was my best memory, and I thank Casey Jordan for doing that for me.
Well, congratulations. I know you're meeting President Bush this week. Good luck, and just enjoy it. Back to you guys.
All right, Tracy, thank you very much. Certainly have become heroes in the state of Kentucky as Abney picks up the reception there. Good for 4 yards. That'll bring up a 3rd down now for Kentucky.
Buck, you can't hit a baseball that far, can you?
I'll tell you what, this kid could go on to play Major League Baseball and have a 20-year pro career. Nothing is going to beat that memory of pitching that well on that night and hitting that home run.
And being the guy who delivers the tape measure job. That's
unbelievable.
Good for Louisville. That's great. Good for Kentucky the way they're playing right now, too.
3rd and 4 for the Wildcats. Lorenzen in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers. Going deep down the left sideline, he had a man, Ernest Sims, who caught a 64-yard touchdown earlier today down the left sideline, but just overthrows him.
That's that shot up in the hole, Mark, that you want to make that throw, and you got a guy who beats press coverage and gets up in cover 2 and just missed it. A little bit high, but with that cannon, there's going to be a few that are going to end up in the 1st or 2nd row. His mechanics aren't the best. It's not one of those things that you say, hey.
And you and I talked about this. I say this. If he's that passionate about his game, if he loves football that much and he wants to be a good quarterback, then be disciplined enough to be 265 anyways, not 300 pounds.
Not since he's been 12 months.
So, Kentucky on the punt. This one's deep. 43 yards. A touchback. Just a reminder that tomorrow, Gino Gazzulli and the Cincinnati Bearcats open their Conference USA schedule as they host Adrian Medice and the TCU Horned Frogs. College football on ESPN tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. Flag on the play. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
After the play was over, dead ball, personal foul on the receivers. This will be half the distance, or ball will be put on the 10-yard line. 1st down.
What we're seeing here is a lot of frustration now from John L. Smith's Louisville Cardinals, down 10-0 as we approach the end of the 1st quarter.
Mark, the frustration, they expect to come in here, and although they didn't have great fall practices like Coach Smith told us, and it's showing. It's showing. He didn't like the rhythm and the way they were practicing. And these are the things, the little things that become big things, the discipline that kills you. Get personal fouls when the ball should be on the 20-yard line.
Over the last 3 years, they have dominated this rivalry, so this is a bit of a shock. So 1st and 10, they take over on downs from about the 10-yard line. Shotgun formation. Under pressure. Dumps it out, incomplete. Intended receiver Lionel Gates.
Tell you what, the pressure, there you go. Look at Lorenzen, 4 of 8, 97 yards, and bought some time on some others. Nice touch. Now Ragone, the 2 of 8, and let's not forget all the pressure he's been under, even the last play. Mark forcing him out on a little short route. This is not a team in rhythm. Lorenzen obviously getting the best of this one early.
There's no doubt about that. Again, we haven't seen a lot of deep balls, or at least deep connections made. They've been short balls, screens, dump off, but unrelenting pressure from the UK defense on this one. 2nd and 10. Gates gets the ball off a right tackle. Gets maybe a yard.
Mark, we talked about the pressure and given Kentucky's defense been the MVP to date right here in this game. 6 hurries, 5 knockdowns, and 2 sacks already in the 1st quarter on Dave Ragone.
And that brings us to the end of the 1st quarter. But we'll be back with more college football action as number 18th ranked Louisville finds themselves trailing 10-0 to Kentucky.
Greatest outdoor show ever is back. New American Sportsman, Monday, September 9th, 8 p.m. on ESPN2.
What's up, bro? Train a lizard.
Right. Sweet. Hey. Hi. Tastes great. Yeah. Feels even better. Wow.
Man, I think you're trying too hard. So be yourself.
So be you, so be me.
The first oil filter ever made back in 1923 wasn't called an oil filter. It was called a purulator. Today, every car on the road relies on technology pioneered by Purulator. And the same company that invented the oil filter just keeps reinventing it. So that for anyone who cares enough to change their own oil, Purulator continues to mean pure oil then, pure oil now, pure oil later. Now in new pure oil packaging.
No matter what changes in your life, there are two things you can count on for 10 years. And one of them comes with loads of standard features and 5 years of roadside assistance. The 2003 Kia Spectra. And right now, get $2,000 cash back on all remaining 2002 Spectras.
Victory is measured in miles, minutes, and if you're really lucky, hugs. Achieve New Balance.
Welcome back to Louisville, where the Cardinals find themselves trailing 10-0 to the University of Kentucky Wildcats. As we resume play in the second quarter, this a big third down conversion for Louisville. They find themselves backed up. Little dash to the left for Ragone. Nothing open. Touched the ball, and he's smothered by Wildcat defenders. Vincent Burns leads the charge for Kentucky.
We keep talking about Louisville's corners. Take a look at this coverage now here by Kentucky. Man the flat nothing. Double team on Dorsey. Their best receiver coming back. That is unrelenting pressure, not only up front, but forcing Ragone on the dash. Nice job by Kentucky. That secondary's playing lights out.
So Tidlachka will punt. 2 punts tonight already of 38 and 35 yards. From just inside his own end zone. That one was close. Nice high punt. A fair catch called by Abney. And the Wildcats will take over possession on the 45-yard line, 43 yards on the punt. If you're just joining us, let's get you caught up on the first half action. So far, Dave Ragone of Louisville has been under pressure. 4 new offensive linemen. They've taken its toll. He's been beat and battered around, while the 300-pounder, Jared Lorenzen, has found a way to move around the pocket, get the ball out, and get the Wildcats up early, 10-0. What has been a shocker so far here in Louisville. First and 10, Lorenzen under center, and they hand the ball off inside to number 20, Artus Pinner. Good for 4 yards on the play.
They got second effort in that, Mark. He was hit at the line of scrimmage. I'm always looking for backs that can fall forward, and that 238 pounds that they talked about, the weight he's gained, is sure helping him at the line of scrimmage. He will have to continue to play well to keep pressure off number 22 right there.
They're staying up inside against LeFew and Lopez, trying to stay away from Dwayne White. He had 15 sacks last year, and he is a man. 2nd and 6. Lorenzen under pressure, can't get it off, and he's down. Got a flag on the play, however. Dwayne White was the man putting the pressure. Nice spin move.
Mark, we talked to him yesterday, and he told us that he watches
Incidental face mask underneath. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat the down.
So keep your eye on Dwayne White here at the bottom of your screen. There's a little spin move. Move inside, move outside. Says he studies the players like Strahan to try and learn a move, puts it to work on the practice field. There it went to work. This isn't just a guy who bull rushes. Mark had talked to him. He's trying to be a versatile player that you can't concentrate on just one pass rush.
27 career sacks, most of the NCAA right now of any active player. 2nd and 1, and immediately Dwayne White back in and swarming Lorenzen for the sack.
And what we say, he doesn't just have a bull rush, but you know what? He uses this bull rush. You can't do this. Unblock a guy like that or miss him, especially maybe the best defensive end in the United States. Lorenzen, no chance. Got to put a body on him.
Bad design there, too. In 2 consecutive plays, they've asked the running back to block Dwayne White. He is 6'3" and 280 pounds.
And Kentucky made the mistake, Mark, earlier this week saying it doesn't matter where he lines up. We don't care about Dwayne White. Well, they better start caring.
Kentucky is 2 of 5 on 3rd down. This is 3rd and 6 out of the shotgun for Lorenzen. Downfield, almost intercepted. Anthony Floyd had the ball go in and out of his hands as the receiver slipped coming out of the break.
Can't fall down. They got away with one there. Lorenzen threw it on time. Receiver falls down, almost an interception. They'll have to punt to get back to that Dwayne White, Mark. There you see now. Comes out of it, nice. Not even any contact by the DB. Keep your feet. That's what you get scholarship pay for. Got to stay up on your feet. Almost an interception. They got away with it. Get back to Dwayne White, the defensive end. Mark, you can't block him with a 200-pound back.
No, you cannot. That's not a good design. I think I'd have that conversation on the sideline if I was Lorenz with his head coach. This punt is out of bounds. It'll be marked at about the 24-yard line, 28 yards on the punt. We're back with more football from Louisville after this.
Rejuvenate your 75,000-mile engine with Pennzoil High Mileage Vehicle. The new motor oil specially formulated for the needs of your older, wiser vehicle. Pennzoil, we're driving protection.
Buy a case of Pennzoil High Mileage Vehicle and get a set of 4 floor mats, now at Kmart.
What's this?
It's a credit card. You have to open it up.
Introducing Discover to Go.
That's a crazy-looking credit card. Wow, look at that.
A great new way to carry your Discover card.
Wipe it through there and there we've got it.
There's a place for my keys. I love it.
It's new. I figured that one out, Frank.
Very futuristic. Same account numbers, same cashback bonus program, but not like any credit card you've seen before.
You want to go? You want to go to the greatest high wire act on earth? You got Mad Game and the Mad Game, baby? You have nothing. I take your whole family on a vacation and leave you on Planet Clown. I'll give you some more. You want to go? I'll give you some more. I'm playing catch. Catch me if you can. I'll make you see purple in your sleep.
Don't let the bed bugs bite. Randy Moss has his game on. Do you? Madden NFL 2003.
If it's in the game?
EA Sports. It's in the game. Rated E for everyone.
Someone's developed a micro device created to be the perfect killer. Injectable. One touch of a button, you can give a head a state of heart attack.
It will take 2 extreme agents to stop it. Antonio Banderas, Agent X.
That's how I deal with stress.
Lucy Liu, Agent Sever.
My turn.
Ballistic, X versus Sever. This feature is not yet rated. Starts Friday, September 20th.
Welcome back to Louisville. That is the Cardinal defensive coordinator, Chris Smealan, trying to get his defense cranked up. They have not been the kind of defense we thought we would see here tonight.
Better get this offense cranked up.
1st and 10. 1st and 10, and we have a flag on the play before the play gets off.
Illegal snap. Offense, 5-yard penalty, go 1st down.
And again, we can see now, I mean, this is just adds to what we've been talking about with this new offensive line, Sean. Only Dan Coons, the center, is the guy that's returning. Everybody else is brand new here.
There's no doubt. And I understand physical mistakes, Mark, but I don't give a hoot if you're a freshman or a senior. You can't move before the ball snaps, before the play starts. 1st and 15 now. They start in a hole. And bam! Right off the bat, Otis Grigsby nails Lionel Gates in the backfield. And now they dig themselves a deeper hole. Jerry Spencer, you got to do more than this. You got to help out. Offensive lineman gets beat right off the bat. No shot. Grigsby gets across the line of scrimmage. There's Otis right there. And really not a powerful guy. I mean, he sure looked powerful on that one. 253 pounds, more of a speed rusher, but again, just horrible technique and execution by the offensive line. 2nd and 19 now for Louisville. Flags, play stop. Cardinals can't do anything right. I assure you, if this continues.
Yeah. Ball start. Offense. Penalty. Go 2nd down.
I assure you, if this continues, Mark, John L. will go all off on these guys in the locker room at halftime.
He's an old Idaho Cowboy, and we see him there, and you could just tell he's fuming. He is a drill sergeant. They hit, they go after him. He's an old school guy. He has just got to be about ready to blow a gasket right now.
And the crowd is not loud right now. You got the offensive side of the ball. You're right there. Listen to your quarterback. It's inexcusable. You're going to miss a block every now and then. But don't make the mental errors, because Ragon's going to start to go off himself. 2nd and 24. Need to pick up at least half of this. Pressure right off the bat. Unblocked. Ragon somehow escapes and finds some open territory. When you get a block, finally drugged down at about the 32, 33-yard line. Great play by Dave Ragon, picking up 22 on the play. And he told us yesterday, Mark, and talking with him as we take a look at the replay, that when their team struggles every now and then, he loves to run out of the pocket. And he said if he wanted to slide, he'd be a baseball player. This is a big 6'5", 260-pound body. But take a look at this. He's not going to the sideline. He's going to take someone on. He does just that. Gets more than half of it back, like you said, Mark. And now, does Louisville respond, the rest of the 10 guys, and say, that's what our leader does. We got to answer that. It makes it 3rd and 1. What looked to be an impossible situation now looks like a makeable down. Quick pass. And it's tipped right off of the bat of Otis Grigsby. Number 18, coming up big twice on this drive. And now Ragon and Louisville, although they get themselves out of the hole, again, cannot convert on 3rd down. There's Grigsby here. He's going to get here, but he's going to jump, Mark. He's going to jump. He can't get to the quarterback. You know, perfect. Great job. You realize you're not going to get there on a 3-step drop. Jump up, make the play. Use that body for something. Grigsby's made 2 great plays on this series. And if you're smart, Louisville, next time a guy jumps, you give him an old rib shot to keep him on the ground. Wade Tidlachka back to punt. His last punt, a 42-yarder. It ended in a fair catch. This one almost blocked, way up in the air high, but short, and will be out of bounds just past midfield. As the 2-star John, right now the University of Kentucky all over Louisville. It's been pressure from the opening bell, and Kentucky has Louisville rattled 10-0.
Jim!
Hey, Mikey. Here's our TV, 57-inch widescreen. Looks even better than last week.
Can we take it home this time?
Therein lies the problem, Peter. The minute we take it home, I'm going to see it on sale.
You know, with Circuit City's Price Match Plus, you don't have to worry about that.
Huh.
Don't worry, take it home. Because if you find a lower price within 30 days of purchase, we'll give you back 110% of the price difference. Circuit City, we're with you.
Does this mean my video game system can come home too?
Next time you're on the road and you need to fill your tank, here's something to consider. New Shell gasoline is specially formulated to help prevent deposit buildup in your engine, which helps keep it clean. And a clean engine performs better, which is why when they're looking for more from their gasoline, so many drivers choose Shell.
When you sign up for any AT&T wireless calling plan starting at $19.99 a month, you can get a Nokia 3360 for only $29.99 after mail-in rebate. That's M-Life from AT&T Wireless. Hurry in or call today.
Practice makes perfect. He's off to a great start. He's on Futura tires. They're some of the best made. Futura tires just cost less.
Right. He's teaching him how to drive and passing on the value of $1. Way to go, Dad!
Pep Boys, we're car people.
What about the hands to the face? Are you calling that over here?
NFL kickoff weekend begins Thursday on ESPN.
ESPN2's presentation of primetime college football, brought to you by Circuit City.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Louisville as the Cardinals find themselves trailing 10-0. 3 yards on the pickup for Kentucky. Will bring up a 2nd and 7. We've got an injured player on the field.
You know, Mark, what's interesting about this is that everybody talks about Kentucky as being a finesse football team for the most part. You know, their finesse on defense wasn't very good. Lorenzen, who throws last year 5 straight 300-plus yard passing games. But in this game so far, it is a physical tail whipping that they're giving Louisville. Forget the finesse. They're whipping them up front.
Curry Burns, the strong safety, who led the team in tackles a year ago with 107, is down on the field right now.
ESPN2's presentation of primetime college football, brought to you by Circuit City. We know how you feel. That's why we're here. Circuit City. We're with you.
That is the School of Law here on the University of Louisville campus. And this is Papa John Stadium. Let's set it down to the field in our cohort, Tracy Wolfson. Tracy?
Well, as you can see behind me, this rivalry extends way beyond the hardwood. For years, it was UK that had everything on the line. They're from the bigger conference, a bigger school, a state school, but now UL comes in and they have not everything to lose. UK is trying to spoil their season. Louisville, preseason top 20. Dave Ragone, Heisman hopeful. This is their most anticipated season, and if the Cats can come out and get a win tonight, they will spoil a season that Louisville has been waiting a lifetime for.
There's no doubt about that, Tracy. Thank you very much. Pinner there, the carry. No gain, but this rivalry, which was gone for, 70 years, Sean. They played 6 times between 1912 and 24. Then the series resumed in 94. When we talk to players, I mean, they're all about that. There is a chip on their shoulder. There's some real hatred between them.
There's no doubt, and Mark, and it's a respectful hatred, but, you know, people say, why play this rivalry so early? This jump starts the season for these two teams, and I love it. And a rivalry is when there's competitiveness, and this one makes it a rivalry.
Of course, a win would make Kentucky's season a program on probation as Jared Lorenzen rolls left and fires the cannon downfield. That's going to be good enough for a first down. Aaron Boone, number 13, the playmaker on this football team, comes up with a reception good for 12 yards.
Well, I've been waiting for this, Mark. A double team on Dwayne White at the top of your screen. Don't leave one on him. There you see. Smart move. Keep your best football player away. And then we see the route at the other end. Abney here. Possession receiver. Push you. Nice job coming back to the football. Lorenzen puts it where only his guy could catch it. First down.
High formation. Slot right. 1st and 10. Play action. Going deep. Got a man one-on-one, but great play. Broken up by Leroni Galashaw. Abney, the intended receiver, and he had what he wanted. Man-on-man coverage. Looking to put the dagger.
Yes, it's a great fake by Lorenzen, but what you got to do is get the ball up a little quicker here. This guy had him beat early. Now when you set your feet, throw the football. He took that extra crow hop in there that allowed a good secondary to stay on him. Had him beat, but he hesitated just a second. Comes out of it incomplete.
Well, when he tucks that ball in his gut to hide it, nobody sees it in the play action. 2nd and 10. Hands the ball off. to Alexis Ginge, 4 yards on the carry.
And Mark, this makes it manageable. Makes it very manageable. They get the football, get it in there. Now you're at 3rd and 6. You've got an opportunity to mix in. You can either draw them, you can screen them, you can throw the football. And now with the completion, even if you don't get the first down, you give your field goal team another chance. Points is what the Kentucky needs.
Of course, when you've got the 10-0 lead, you can take your time and run the football now. Milk the clock a little bit. Shotgun formation, 3rd and 6. Plenty of time. Steps up. Finally, the pressure comes. Lorenzen drags a couple of defenders with him before he finally goes down. Tyrone Satterfield with Johnny on the spot, number 93, the sophomore, 319 pounds.
Great coverage by one of America's best secondaries. You see Minkins running with him. That's where Lorenzen wanted to go with the ball. Almost wanted to do something a little careless. You see the pressure, but it takes some extra real estate to bring the big fella down.
Satterfield's 319 pounds, and Lorenzen carries him for about 5 yards, looking for somebody to throw the football
There's
to.
a reason, because Lorenzen's about 319 himself.
That's true. All right. Pekalak had a shank out of bounds in his last punt, averaging about 40.3 yards a punt, and we have a whistle on the play.
Five-yard penalty from the previous spot. Go 4th down. Clock will start on a snap.
No harm done there, Mark. You want to move back and give him a chance to
Pekalak
hit a full wedge.
Yeah, Pekalak, considered the number 3 punter in the NCAA, averaged 44.5 yards last year. 18 inside the 20. What he's going to try to do here. It's a high one. Oh! His coverage cannot keep it out of the end zone. Hey, rookie, welcome to the NFL. Follows the lives of 6 players, including Joey Harrington and David Carr, as they embark on the journey from college to the pros. The show documents everything from the anxiety of the draft to the final roster cuts. Part of the block, Tuesday at 8 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. For more information, you can log on to ESPN.com. Beautiful skyline here. A view from Papa John's Cardinal Stadium. In fact, the spire of Churchill Downs just behind us. Not much of a gain there. Talking about the rookies, we've watched Ragone struggle in part. That's because of a loss of a couple of rookies, particularly Dion Branch, who last year had 72 catches for over 1,100 yards, a second-round pick of the Patriots, came up big in his NFL preseason debut. Sean, you and I watched that game. They couldn't stop him.
He's a difference maker, and will be at that level also. Right now, Ragone wishes he was in a red uniform.
2nd and 14. Audibling, changing the protection. Seems to work. Flushed out to the left. Under pressure. Oh, fumble. The ball's loose. And Kentucky's on top of it. Dave Ragone trying to make something happen here. Tries a little bit too much. Breaks out of the pocket. And can't hold on to the ball. Claude Segal with a fumble recovery. And that puts the Wildcats in the driver's seat.
And they've said Dave Ragone has one weakness, Mark, the coaches have, and that's that he's too competitive. And this may be the case, but I want you to look at this push in here. Forces him out of the pocket. Nowhere to throw the ball. Great coverage. Now look at the hit. Put that helmet on the football. Nice job. Loose. Kentucky got an opportunity in the red zone now. Great field position.
So it's 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. I formation play action. Just a little flat pass. Out to Ronald Johnson. Redshirt freshman.
You always want a back to be a good chipper. Dwayne right here at the bottom of your screen. Nice little chip. Bought a little time on a short 3-step drop. Get the ball on the flat. And as Lorenzen told us yesterday, needs to throw the ball the backs more, Mark.
Again, Pinner is blocking Dwayne White. I think if I'm Jared, I'm going to have a little talk with my coach about that. Change that blocking design. I formation. Jared doesn't like what he sees and calls a timeout. So why Guy Morris and Jared Lorenzen talk about it. We're going to take a little time out here, but we'll be back. The UK leading 10-0.
Red pepper and white pepper and some Cajun spices, and I put it all together and everything. So I really hope you like it. And the brownies in particular. I went and I made, you know, and I got the...
ESPN College Game Day, presented by Discover Card, Saturdays, 10:30 a.m.
They are born enemies, sworn enemies.
I'll teach him to respect me. I have no respect for him.
They are opposites on a collision course, with nothing between them but bad blood. Oscar De La Hoya, Fernando Vargas, for the championship of the world, September 14th, live on Direct Ticket Pay-Per-View. Don't miss De La Hoya versus Vargas, live on Direct Ticket Pay-Per-View, Channel 101.
I'll teach him a lesson.
Send me at him.
Stars. Movie stars. Stars. Hollywood hits. Stars. Stars delivers the new hit movies you want to see. First on Stars and only on Stars. Stars is one of 12 different channels in the Stars Super Pack. Order the Stars Super Pack now and get over 600 movies each month. Stars Super Pack, 12 channels for $12 or less a month. The best movie value on DirecTV. Order now. 1-800-DirecTV.
Welcome back to Louisville. The Cardinals find themselves trailing 10-0. This secondary, 44 interceptions for the Cardinals over the last two seasons. Only Miami has more. This defense may have to bail the Cardinals out because Ragone and the offense just looks horrible. Sure. Second and 6, that's Pinner. Off the left side down to about the 10-yard line. And gain of 4 yards on the play.
Mark, you couple that with not just the interception, but the last two seasons, they've been second in all the NC2A in takeaways.
Yes.
So you got the secondary, you got a great pass rush team, and you got a team that's Johnny Alespont knows how to get the football. But Brent Pease, the offensive coordinator of Kentucky's offense, doing a good job of protecting it right now.
96 takeaways over the last two seasons for this Louisville defense.
That's alarming.
Oh, it's amazing. Ranked 10th in scoring defense a year ago, and they've got to come up big here as it's 3rd and 2. I'll tell you what, that's a lot of beef pushing that pile. I'll tell you, I'm not sure if I'm real happy if I'm the center and the coach calls the quarterback sneak and Jared Lorenzen's the quarterback.
And the quarterback may be bigger than the center. Yeah, I guess I got a chance at 2 yards, and I got 300-plus pounds. A quarterback going through. Goes right down there, keeps his head down. A lot of beef.
Robert McCune on the play finally brings the big fella down, and not good enough for a first down. It's 4th and 1 now. High formation. Lorenzen changing the play. And it's close. It's close. Pinner gets the ball out of the eye. The pile pushed forward. It looks like he might have it, Sean.
Yeah, I think he does, Mark. And the thing I liked, after first contact, you saw that big body of 238 pounds get the extra push they needed for the first down. And he put on a ton of weight, about 15 to 20 pounds, which obviously is helping him after initial contact.
All right, take a look at the offensive line here. This is Sylvester Miller, 6'5", 297.
And he wasn't even using much legs in rear end. He stood up, but he found a way on White to keep him out of the play. That's a lot of muscle on muscle.
A stalemate against Dwayne White is a win.
That's darn right it is. Now there's the difference, Mark. Pinner being able to fall forward, and the backs, you judge good backs on their ability to take initial contact and fall forward, and Pinner's done that a couple times today.
Guy Morris said he wanted him to touch the ball 20 to 25 times in this game if they were going to have a chance to win. Right now, he's got 12 carries for 25 yards, so not a lot of big gains, but again, they're chewing it up, and they're delivering it with an attitude
to those carries
against that Louisville defense. We're going to take a timeout, but we're back right after this.
With the turmoil of the 60s fading away, the 70s was a time to mellow out.
That's why I'm easy.
Now, TV Music for You brings you Smooth 70s, a 34-song collection of the greatest easy-listening classics of our time.
If I could save time in a bottle, please
come to Boston for the springtime. But it was just my imagination once again. Ooh, I hear laughter in the rain.
Smooth 70s features the best easy listening hits and top artists of a great decade of music.
So I sing you to sleep after the loving. And when we get behind closed doors, she ran calling wildfire. Summer breeze makes me feel fine. I felt the beat of my mind go drifting into
Smooth 70s on 2 cassettes or 2 CDs. Call this toll-free number now for Smooth 70s. 2 cassettes $19.98, 2 CDs $26.98, plus $5.50 shipping. Have your credit card ready and call now.
Welcome back to Louisville. 4:04 left in the first half. The Cardinals down 10-0, and Kentucky is driving. First and goal inside the 10. Huge series for this Cardinal defense to hold them to a field goal. Pitch outside the Pinner, and he's looking for Pager. Untouched. Touchdown Wildcats.
Love the misdirection.
Eight yards on the touchdown carry. Nice design by Guy Morris and the Wildcat offensive coaches. Fake a little dive, pitch it out wide to Pinner. We saw him pound at 238, but he's able to beat that Cardinal defense to the end zone.
Turn that corner a little bit, and after the extra point, we'll get to see exactly how he did it. And I love misdirection, especially when they've been hitting play side the entire game, Mark.
5th career touchdown for Pinner as they try for the extra point. Bad snap, and Taylor Begley cannot get it through. That might come back to haunt him. That makes it 16-0 Kentucky.
It might have been Dwayne White that blocked that kick, Mark, but the key here, yeah, it may come back to haunt them. They need that extra point, but the run-in from Penner was huge. And I love the way that Brent Pease, their offensive coordinator, designs this play. And a key block that's going to give Penner a chance to get to the edge. Watch the block by Boone here. Going to come down, a little crack, sets it up, goes against force. Nice job. Penner's speed gets him outside, but I like the way the players designed. Look at this little play side, misdirection, pitch to the outside. When you lose contain against a good fast runner, you're done. They lose contain, does Louisville defense, and then the extra points block. But you're right, they come back to get him, get in there, and once again, that All-American Dwayne White, who's one of the best in the country, doing it all, including special teams to block that kick. There's Penner, Mark. That's a big boy, 238, but he showed he's got some little wheels to get outside.
13 carries, 33 yards so far, so he's on pace to carry the ball 20, 25 times in this football game, as Guy Morris hoped he would. And now we've got just under 4 minutes to play, and a chance for Dave Ragone and Louisville to get on the board before halftime.
See the first down, they'll take that, won't they?
Just a reminder, tomorrow night, Al Michaels and John Madden are off, but be sure to join Keith Jackson and Dan Fouts as they cap off ABC's Holiday Weekend Bash, presented by AT&T Wireless. The Auburn Tigers take on number 19 USC at 8 o'clock Eastern. ABC Sports, the class of college football.
Hey, Mark, you want me to start singing my fight song for you?
No, University of Spoiled Children? No, that'll be all right.
Let's see if Pete Carroll's got something going on for that team this year.
Well, as a Pac-10 boy myself, you know, I
can't root for the coach.
I cringe when I hear that song. All right, Dave Ragone out of the shotgun. Little play action of himself, this time under pressure. Oh, makes 2 guys miss. Back to the right. He has been the only offense. He's taken all the hits. Take a look right now at the offensive numbers.
That is not offense. That's lack of, Mark. 22 plays, 31 yards, averaging, what, a little over a yard a play. That's not good enough.
And we've talked about the offensive line, and certainly they've allowed pressure on Ragone, but these wide receivers have not done a very good job getting open.
You must win, and they're not winning, and they talked about that lack of experience.
2nd and 7. Quick pass inside. Incomplete. Victor Glenn, number 88, cannot hold on to the football. And we have a flag on the play. Might be a late hit on Ragone.
Yeah, and you know, Mark, when you're going so good on defense, stay away from the head. Get the guy and get out of there because your defense is playing so well.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic. First down.
Take a look. This is him right here now. He's going to come in. You're going to put a hit on the quarterback. Do it right. Ball's released. Stay off him. That's way too much time. I understand you want to be physical. There's a difference between being physical and being dumb. That was dumb. Ball was dropped. You would have had him in a long yardage situation. Don't give them momentum if you're Kentucky's defense. Careless play.
1st and 10. 3:13 remaining. Going under pressure. Screen, but the screen man is tackled immediately by Jeremy Cottle, number 68.
Mark, what a difference what a difference a play makes. Same blitz, same thing. Going to come off the top here. Going to hit him, but now this is a fair hit. Boom, put a nice lick on him. Force a throw in, complete pass on a screen. Nice job. Covering the back all the way. Now that's the way you're supposed to play disciplined football.
We're going 2 of 10, 12 yards in the first half. Amazing. This is a man that everybody concurs around the country. The big-time NFL prospect, certainly a Heisman hopeful. 2nd and 10, rolling left. Throwing down the field. The ball's on the money. Perfect coverage. And they're saying yes. A reception. 17 yards on the play, and Ragone is gassed. J.R. Russell with a catch.
They love J.R. Russell's potential. Take a look at the top of your screen. It's just they're going to dash it and run a comeback at the top. The key to this is give your quarterback space to the sideline and finish back at the quarterback. Ball is thrown low and outside. Take one more look at this, Mark, from the end zone angle. Nice job by the receiver to protect and give Ragone a shot to throw. J.R. Russell, big body, too.
Cardinals, that's their 4th first down of the first half. 2:40 left on the clock. Dumping it out into the flats to Gates, who's immediately swarmed by Kentucky. Just about not even a yard on the play. Let's call it no gain.
Well, Mark, that concern that Tracy talked about at the top about will they be able to wrap up a tackle because they did a lot of thud drills in Kentucky because they only had 2 full practice pads. Well, there you go, wrapping up. Nice job, making sure that when you make that first contact that it stays that way.
2nd and 10, 2:11 left. Ragone brings the player in motion. Blitz makes him miss. Right open in the flat, almost. T.J. Patterson almost made the tackler miss. Would have been a big gain if that might have happened. But Derek Tatum, who hyperextended his knee in training camp and has been a little bit limp, comes up and makes the play.
Watch him wrap up now. Ragone, bad snap, eludes the blitz, the unblocked guy, gets the ball on the flat, take a breakdown, make a good tackle, hang on, probably prevented another 4 or 5 yards. Nice tackle by Tatum out there in open space.
Louisville 1 of 6 on 3rd down. It's 3rd and 7 from the shotgun. Protection this time. Had a guy wide open. Number 88, Victor Glenn. And this time Ragone can't get the ball there.
You know what? They're all over the tight end jet, but I think what Ragone is telling, not Jet there. You see Jet, nice in and out coverage on him. But what they're saying is I think that Ragone wants the receiver to run away. He was throwing an in cut. Receiver was running up the seam. Ragone was telling him, I need an in cut. There again, Mark, we're talking about the communication, not having the veterans. That's what he wanted there by Victor Glenn.
Glenn last year, just 2 receptions for 31 yards. Now he steps into a role where he has to play all the time. This is the problem we expected we might see from the Cardinals offense.
Yeah, he wanted Victor Glenn to run away inside with that open space there, and he kept going up the seam, and that's why the underthrow.
So the Cardinals take a timeout, face a 4th down. We'll be back. They're trailing 16-0.
It's Bourbon Street and Beale Street. It's the East, the Midwest, and the Deep South.
It's the Windy City and the Queen Cities. The Gateway and the Gulf. It's the Bluegrass State and the Lone Star State. Conference USA. It's where we play.
It all adds up to a bright future for you at the University of Kentucky.
Hello, everybody. Mark Malone along with Sean Salisbury, Tracy Wolfson, Louisville and Kentucky. Big play for Louisville. Right now, a 4th down, rated number 18 in the country, find themselves trailing 16-0 with just over a minute to play in the first half.
Bigger plays of their season right here.
Bad snap. Ragone picks it up. Plenty of time. More time than we've seen him have all day. And he drops it right into number 6. Damian Dorsey. Do they call it in or out? They say it's a reception. What a great throw and catch. Urban Flowers, number 32, delivers the lumber.
Well, you know what? This is one of their favorite routes. Like, watch Dorsey now. Going to sell it on the inside. Little post corner. Swims right by him. Nice throw to the outside shoulder by Ragone. 29 yards, pulls it in. The ball, ground's not going to cause that fumble. Good job. Nice pitch and catch. I love the fact that John L. Smith said, hey, it's 4th and 6, I don't care. Let's go do it. We're a BCS-type team. We better quit worrying about BCS and make more plays like that. Great pitch and catch.
29 yards on the reception, and that sets up the 1st and 10. Just inside the 15, 1:11 left on the game clock. Ragone throws it to the end zone. Intercepted? No, they're saying incomplete, out of bounds. Antoine Huffman, the dime back, a redshirt freshman, 6 feet, 170 pounds, catches the ball, but he's out of bounds.
Nice job by Huffman, trying to work that little pylon there, Mark, with the nice pitch and catch over the corner. Ball a little bit underthrown. Huffman. You know what I love is I get so many DBs playing the man instead of the ball. Mark, the ball goes up. Huffman takes a look at the ball and plays the ball. No pass interference chance and almost an interception. It's great teaching skills to you kids at home. Playing the football when it's in the air.
2nd and 10. It's been a long drive, and all of a sudden we haven't seen as much pressure. You wonder if the Wildcat defense is a little gassed. Incomplete. Great coverage on the play by Derek Tatum. Let's check in at the studio and Reese Davis. Reese?
Well, Mark, coming up at halftime, Virginia Tech gave LSU a big old taste of Beamer ball, and some fans got a taste of pepper spray. We'll explain that. We'll have Bob Davie, Mike Godfrey talk about the end of the game situation with Washington and Michigan. And it is the year of the quarterback and what Rex Grossman really needs. Mike's going to let you in on that. We'll see you at the half in just a bit.
All right, Reese, we're looking forward to it. John L. Smith looks on. Before this drive, Louisville 29 yards. This drive, 66. Big 3rd down. Ragone escapes the pressure. Bounces outside. Makes a couple people miss. Bounces off a couple of more and finally brought down at the the 7-yard line.
Tell you what, Mark, he'll find a way to keep him in the ball game, won't he? What a great athlete for a big man, but go back to the pressure again. He's been knocked down 10 times. That is the 16th hurry, 2 sacks and 1 turnover. They're putting pressure on him. How long can he continue to do this without some protection?
Right now he needs a rest as Louisville calls a timeout. He's gassed. His coach says, and Ragone admits, he plays the position with a linebacker mentality. A lot like a guy that just got inducted into the Hall of Fame, Jim Kelly, was with the Buffalo Bills. He's going to look down the gun barrel. He's going to take in the chops. He's going to make the throws that are necessary to win football games.
And you know why guys like that, and Kelly, and you can add Favre to that list, what it does is that your players on your football team see that, and it becomes contagious. You say, man alive, I got my quarterback out there who's going to be $1 million man a year from now, but he's out there selling out for us and making a commitment to us. And you know what? I'm not going to slide. I'm not going to go down, talking what Ragone says. And I love the mentality, but the last thing they need is for him to be too careless and get himself hurt.
Oh, I agree with you. coach said, and Racone admitted, he was frustrated with this new offensive line early in spring drills and in training camp. He's learned to get over it and understand that that's what he's got to work with. Somehow in this drive, he's been able to overcome that, get out of the pocket, make plays, and that's what makes him a great quarterback.
Mark, you're exactly right, and trying to be patient. I know it's tough, but when you've got 4 new offensive starters on the line, that is the most difficult position for 5 guys to gel together in just a short matter of weeks during training camp.
Well, they're 1 for 1 on 4th down. They converted one to keep this drive alive earlier. Now it's 4th and 3 with 42 seconds on the clock. John L. Smith and his quarterback Dave Racone have talked it over. Line up in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers to the right. Tiger Jones in motion. Dash back. Wide open. Jones. First down. First down, Louisville. 5 yards on the play. Difficult throw for a left-hander. Rolling out. Touch pass. Especially a tired left-hander.
That's why he'll get the big bucks, Mark, to be able to go against his body, throw it up there, nice little soft touch, give his man a chance to catch, get to the first down marker, takes a big hit, gets out of bounds, but now it's the second time in this drive now, they've gone for it on 4th down and converted both.
And Tiger Jones on 4th and 3, guy had no receptions last year. That's the guy you choose to throw to. So Louisville out of timeouts, 1st and goal, 12th play of the drive. Looks, doesn't like what he sees, moves, bounces again, now under pressure, throws it in the middle of the field, almost caught, but incomplete.
Now that's what you can't do if you're Dave Racone. He got away with one there. I know he's trying to make a play, and he's a one-man wrecking crew right now. I know he likes Gent in this one there at the top of your screen, the tight end Gent. Run to the flat, nice coverage. Cutting underneath, tries to come back to him. But you know what? That's a dangerous play with pressure. You almost want to throw it away and re-tee it. You don't want to throw away now. They need points down here, Mark. Down 16-6.
64, Dion Holtz, the redshirt freshman, applying the pressure. 13th play of the drive. 78 yards, just under 4 minutes. Incomplete out of the end zone. They throw it up for number 9, Joshua Tinch, a basketball player who's got a 40-inch vertical jump. They told us they'd be looking for him down in the red zone.
This is a good spot for him, but as you and I both well know, never in the history of football has the ball ever been complete when it's been caught out of bounds. So it's tough down there. They're into the short side of the field. They're throwing it into the short side of the field. Got to give yourself a little more room.
So 3rd and goal. No timeouts remaining. 25 seconds on the clock. Play selection here, Sean. What do you call?
You know what? I think you got to move him out of the pocket, give him a run-pass option, and give Racone a chance to get on the edge and work it that way.
Well, they've got ends lined up wide, a safety wide, trying to keep him pinned in, and a blitz up the middle. Racone somehow avoids it, gets loose, throws a rocket to the end zone. Touchdown, Louisville! Dave Racone, he doesn't have anything left in the tank. He almost throws an interception, trying to get the ball to Ronnie Gent, and comes back and gets Gent again for the touchdown. 2 yards on the play. We've got ourselves a ball game.
Man alive, Mark. You know, they got pressure inside. Another reason why I said move the pocket. Well, they take the pressure inside, but what's
Can't hear it over the crowd. The penalty is excessive celebration. Right now, I think the Cardinals will take that.
Yeah, they will.
Something to celebrate about. But it will move the extra point back considerably now.
Well, that's just a wonderful individual effort on Ragone's part. Get a chance to see that here in a second. He single-handedly on that drive kept him in, making plays with his arm and with his feet.
So Nate Smith will kick the extra point from way back. Earlier he missed a 52-yard field goal try. This from 35 yards out, and it's good. And
Here you go, Mark. I say move the pocket. Well, they ended up moving the pocket anyway to try to get rid of the pressure because Racone had to buy some time. Pressure coming inside. Gent there, you see the tight end again going to the flat. But it's a sign of a good player. Keep moving. Give your quarterback an opportunity. Nice throw by a tired Dave Ragone on the run. There you see the end zone look. Ragone buying time. You don't have a strong arm, Mark. You don't get that play in there.
No. I'm telling you, the guy is gassed. He had a free blitzer right in his face, somehow managed to make the guy miss in that physical condition and then make the throw, the stick throw, keeping the play alive. And that, again, is why he is regarded so highly by NFL scouts around the National Football League.
And he is ultra competitive, and there you see making a play, and he is tired, Mark. We talked about Lorenzen being gassed. Tell you what, Ragone's running around far more than Lorenzen is, and his conditioning is going to help him in the third and fourth quarter.
One hopes, or one wonders, I'm sure John L. Smith hopes, that that kind of play inspires the rest of this football team, especially that young offensive line, that somehow Ragone is getting it done despite the way they're playing.
And I'll tell you what, if you're an offensive lineman, 5 guys, you turn around and see your quarterback doing that, you better be ashamed of yourself that he's the one out there working, and go in the locker room, come out at halftime, and kick each other in the rear end and give your quarterback a little bit of help, because he cannot continue this tempo for 4 quarters. They have got to pick it up and help Ragone some way, but he keeps his receivers alive, and there's why Ronnie Gent is the best tight end in Conference USA.
Ragone had struggled so poorly with all that pressure on that drive. 6 of 11 for 55 yards. They converted 2 fourth downs as the Cardinals kick off. That's Abney who receives for Kentucky, and he's going to get to about the 20, 21-yard line. So Dave Ragone wills himself, despite just being battered in the first half, to a touchdown drive by the Louisville Cardinals. But I'll tell you what, this has been it's been hard to watch, Sean.
It sure has, Mark. I could feel it up here. And we talk about him being tired, but let's not forget the number of times he has to pick himself up and continue to compete. He's getting battered and bruised, but I assure you, when all's said and done, Dave Ragone's going to be standing. Take a look at that now. He's been knocked down in the first half 13 times. Just too many. They're going to kill the clock. Ragone, individual effort has kept them in this game.
The only reason there haven't been more sacks is somehow he's been able to keep plays alive, avoid free blitzers, and missed assignments on the offensive line. Tell you what, it's been an entertaining first half, and now with the Louisville score making it 16-7 Kentucky, we do have a game, and I think that Guy Morris has got to be a little nervous if you're the Kentucky Wildcat head coach.
You bet. You would have liked a couple of those blitzes that you went after Ragone to get a sack, make a punt, and go in 16-0. Little momentum change, and I think John L. Smith, even though they got a little momentum change, is going to choose some people at halftime, their head football coach, and get on his 5 big guys on the offensive line.
Well, I'll tell you what, I continue to bring pressure if I'm Guy Morris, certainly. So far, their defensive backs have done a wonderful job covering. And let's send it down to Tracy Wolfson, who's standing by with the head coach of the Kentucky Wildcats.
Well, Coach, your defense has been so strong all game just until that last drive. Obviously not the way you want to go into half, but pretty good score right now, huh?
Well, it'll do for now, but, you know, we're going to go in, get some things straightened out. The big late hit on the quarterback didn't help us at all. I think that gave them a little bit of momentum, so we got to come back in the second half and take it back.
Great. Good luck in the second half, Coach.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is a huge upset in the making. The Kentucky Wildcats leading 16-7 over number 18 Louisville. Let's send it to the studio and Reese Davis.
Mark, thank you very much. Bob Davie, Mike Gottfried here as well. And I know Louisville has a little something to be happy about at the end of the half, but I still think the L in John L. Smith has to stand for livid after that performance.
Reese, you look at Louisville in the first half. No emotion. They're a tired football team. They look like a team that's left the game on the practice field. Maybe practice too hard.
Mike, I agree. They're a tired football team. And one of the toughest things as a coach to deal with is how much is enough, how much is too much. But I think they're struggling with something else right now even more, and that's expectation. There was a lot of hype around this Louisville football team, a top 20 team, a Heisman Trophy candidate. I think John L. Smith will strip all that hype away here at halftime.
He was irritated just a week or so ago at a 20-minute meeting, said he thought his team thought they were real special, too special to work hard. He might have gotten their attention with that poor first half. Coming up on the halftime report, I'll tell you, one team has come out of the gate ready to play, Virginia Tech, and LSU got a belly full of that, and the two coaches here will discuss the end-of-game situation between Michigan and Washington yesterday and what should have happened.
Which Sports Center do you watch? Mornings, evenings, late nights, only on ESPN.
Anybody here?
cable. I'm here for the install. I'm at your front door, sir.
I'll tell you what, we'll meet you back there sometime between 12 and 5. Always wanted to say that.
The more powerful Acura RL.
You believe that? Me, you can dunk, but you can't dip. Your dip is gone, baby.
What are you talking about?
No dip.
Introducing Tostitos Scoops. Let me tell you something, Bill. I put the hip in chip. Watch this. With the bite-sized, bowl-shaped design for the perfect dip every time. Tostitos Scoops. Whoa. The dip lover's chip. This is my house.
Yes, it is.
No, this is my house. You guys got to go. Also great with Queso Supreme dip.
Is there anything in here for a headache?
My parents should have something.
Oh, never mind. I found it. Well, why don't you come out of the pool and get something to eat? Oh, you know, I'm good here, thanks. I love swimming.
What'd you do?
I was in the pool for 6 hours. I don't have a...
Life is best told over a great-tasting Miller Lite at a place called Miller Time.
Let's have a wrestling match right here in the water. No, I'm hungry. I'm hungry now.
Bottled water getting expensive. Try pure filtered water, just as good as bottled at a price that's 10 times less. Doesn't that sound better? Pure water filters. Your water should be pure. Besides saving you money, the Pure Water filter is so easy to install and use, you already have all the tools you need. Pure Water filters. Your water should be pure.
Louisville has won 3 straight over Kentucky, but the Cats with a 16-7 lead at the break. Glad to have you with us on the halftime report. Well, it was police in riot gear who had to use pepper spray and pepper balls to break up a, shall we say, disturbance in Blacksburg early this morning before the LSU-Virginia Tech game. Riot gear, 15 people arrested, felony assault charges, disorderly conduct, and shockingly, public intoxication. Imagine that. Over 3,000 people were involved. They got to put war bonnets, legal ones on, and play some football in Blacksburg, and they retired Michael Vick's jersey. The number 7 will still be used because it belongs to Kevin Jones. Vatek quickly, 7-0, and Beamer ball at its best. Special teams, Mike.
Yeah, again, this game was lost in fall camp. How do you not prepare for Virginia Tech's kicking game? You know they're going to block kicks.
They got a couple of them against LSU. 92 block kicks in 176 games under Frank Beamer, and that was a huge turning point in this game, a game in which the LSU offense could never really get anything started. Lee Suggs, the other part of the untouchables, they call the backfield of Suggs and Jones. He had 89 yards on the ground, 14-0 Tech on top, 17-0. Jones finished up with 70 yards, and none of them prettier than this run. Watch him make people miss. It's like he's on PS2, hitting the R1, making the moves. Kevin Jones ripped off 33, and on the next play, you bring the other guy in there. Suggs.
What's that, PS?
PS2, it's like a video game that the kids like. You and I don't know anything about that. We're out in the demographics. 26-8, Virginia Tech finishes off LSU. And, Bob, we've been talking a lot in the early season about the SEC's aggressive non-conference scheduling, and I'm sure this is not the way Nick Saban had dreamed it would open.
Or the LSU fans. But I think it's obvious that it was very tough on Nick Saban to take his football team into Blacksburg, particularly because Virginia Tech had played a football game last week. But give credit to Virginia Tech. You knew they were going to play great defense. You knew they would play great special teams. But I think they found a quarterback in Brian Randall, Mike, that allows them to run their total offense.
Doesn't matter where you play. You get 2 kicks blocked, you're going to lose. And also, LSU, 1 third-down conversion. So kicking game bad, third down bad, everything's bad. Don't schedule Virginia Tech anymore.
They have to play them again, but this time in Baton Rouge, and hopefully we won't have any authorities involved. We have a tragic story that unfolded early this morning in Minneapolis. Minnesota defensive end Brandon Hall was shot to death just hours after playing his first collegiate football game. Hall was involved in a dispute with a group of teammates and 3 other men. They accused the men of perhaps robbing one of the teammates. 3 men have been arrested. No charges have been filed yet. Brandon Hall, dead at the age of 19, and certainly all of us send our deepest sympathies out to the Minnesota football family and to Brandon Hall's family. We will continue on the halftime report These two guys will discuss the end-of-game situation and what Washington perhaps could have done to correct the error against Michigan.
High Crimes, available now on DVD and video.
The military has set up my husband.
Wake up and smell the napalm. Ashley Judd, Morgan Freeman, and the thriller that will keep you guessing to the end. High Crimes, directed by Carl Franklin. Own the DVD or rent the video.
Now through Monday, Zales is having a store-wide sale where you can save up to 60% and more throughout the store. Like this 2-carat diamond bracelet for just $1.99, our lowest price ever. At Zales, the diamond store.
Women blame it on hormones, diet, or stress.
Men on their age, their dads.
But while men and women deal with hereditary hair loss differently, something works for both. Rogaine.
In fact, nothing's been proven to regrow hair better.
And the sooner you start, the better your chance of success.
So start early. For men.
For women.
Rogaine works.
The sooner, the better.
Back on the College Game Day halftime report, the thriller of Saturday, Washington and Michigan coming down to the final play. But it wasn't just the final play that allowed the Wolverines to escape against the Huskies with the 31-29 win. I want to take you back to the last few plays, and we'll let our coaches dissect what should have happened. I want you to follow Greg Carruthers right here, the Washington linebacker. Fourth quarter, 48 ticks to go. It's 29-28 game. Carruthers gets in there, makes a tackle on B.J. Askew. He ends up getting hurt. Now watch the clock ticking down, but because Carruthers got hurt, had to come and help him off the field. Clock stopped, saved a few seconds for the Wolverines in theory. 4th and 2 now. John Navarre to Braylon Edwards. Did he catch it? Did he not catch it? Edwards reacted as if he dropped the football, but Tyrese Butler was heads up, recovered it. It was ruled a catch and a fumble. Good call. Quickly, guys, you think?
I don't think he had it.
Very tight call, but at any rate, Michigan made it pay off. So Navarre now trying to get his team in field goal range. Overthrows his man, but there is a flag. Too many men on the field. The illegal participation. Nobody was trying to get off the field. They all played. You see 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, we're not in Canada, not where Sean Salisbury won the Grey Cup. This is American football, and just 11 players. And Rick Neuheisel took full responsibility for the error, but an error it was, no doubt.
Yeah, it happened to me against Notre Dame one year, and that's a penalty that you as a coach, you're responsible for. You can take a clipping penalty or offside or anything and forgive the player, but this is a coaching error. And on that trip back to Washington, I'm sure those coaches and Rick Neuheisel, they are distraught because you lose the football game on that 12 men on the field.
Mike, it's your worst nightmare. Oh. And the media will beat Rick Neuheisel up. The fans will beat Rick Neuheisel up, but he will beat himself up over this. But give Washington credit. They went into Michigan. They had over 400 yards offense. They played a great football game. There's other teams that made mistakes on opening days around this country that played lesser opponents. This was a high-profile game. I give Washington credit for playing Michigan and going in there and playing well.
Can't get away with things like that against a high-quality opponent. It happens, and it might just slide right by the boards if you played a lesser opponent. Well, Rick Neuheisel's going to be kicking himself, he said, for 1,000 years over that. But other guys get fresh starts, able to put past ends behind them. And coaching debuts on Saturday. Ron Zook, not that this means anything per se, but he put one more point on the board in the opener than Steve Spurrier did back in 1990. Tyrone Willingham opened against Maryland and was very impressive. You see the other guys who won their debuts on Saturday. But both of you guys have experienced this, I know, and for every coaching debut, that means that somebody has given up a job or had a job taken from. Well, you know, I'm a journalist here, Mike. I'm just trying to get the best story out of you.
Well, we both got fired, and it's
I tried to put it more diplomatically.
Yeah, and it's tough. And Notre Dame played well, won the football game, and I still think they're overscheduled. I think they'll have a tough time with 7 wins. But, Bob, I know how it was watching Pittsburgh after I got fired. But it's still your players. You should feel good about that. I felt good about my players the year after and years after that. So I'm sure you feel good about that.
Mike, I do feel good. And to be honest, I was not going to watch the football game last night. But I decided that I would. And to be honest, it's the best decision I ever made. Now, I also admit it was one of the most difficult things I've ever had to do in my life, watching that football team play and not be a part of it. But the reason I'm happy I watched it, I'm really, really proud of those players. And I would really like to congratulate Tyrone Willingham and his staff. But to see Shane Walton, young man that came up to Notre Dame on a soccer scholarship, step up his senior year and have 3 interceptions in the first football game. I know what he's invested in that program and how hard he's worked. To see Nick Setta have 5 field goals in a football game. To see Arnez Battle, who was a quarterback, break his wrist the opening game against Nebraska after waiting his turn for 3 years, step up at wide receiver and have success in that football game. To watch the evolution of that offense that got beat up unmercifully last year. There's hope. I thought Notre Dame looked excellent on offense. I thought Carlisle Holiday has matured. He showed the ability that we thought he had. And it was hard not being there, but there's hope for the Irish fans, and I was really proud of that football team last night.
You know what gets lost sometimes when we have coaching changes and the high expectations and the high demands that are placed on coaches in college football now is just what you were talking about, the emotional, tight relationship that you develop with the players. When you're not the coach anymore, the relationship doesn't just disappear. Appreciate you saying that. We will continue on the College Game Day halftime report. Byron Leftwich, boy, he put some numbers up on the board on Saturday as he tried to get that Heisman campaign steamrolling. And how about the Battleship Lorenzen throwing the little slip screen right here and getting the Cats on the board. The KY Cats up on the card 16-7.
Forget about the 2-minute drill. The Gamer and I have less than 30 seconds to get you to sign up for ESPN.com Fantasy Football. It's the most competitive fantasy football league you'll ever play with the most comprehensive player news, sortable stats, injury reports anywhere, plus up-to-the-minute advice from Brandon the Gamer Funston and ESPN experts like Hector the Projector and Victor the Predictor. You'll also get a free ESPN the Magazine college football preview issue with your fantasy draft kit inside. So sign up now. Gamer, we did it.
Nice job, baby.
I want to explore.
I want to contribute.
I want to inspire.
I want to achieve.
I want to grow.
I want to dare.
I want to dare to be great at the University of Louisville.
What's your least favorite shot to play? I'll bet it's a long iron from any lie, or a long shot from either a bad lie or a fairway bunker. With the perfect club, every bad lie and stance represents an opportunity to hit a high-soaring, quick-stopping shot. The perfect club can handle the longest, toughest fairway bunker shots as though you were playing from the tee. It's the easiest club to hit I've ever played. The perfect club replaces your utility clubs, your 5 and 7 woods, and your longest irons. It's the perfect club. You hang on to the grip to hit perfect chips with the perfect club with your normal putting stroke. And you can play it from the tee on tight driving holes for accuracy and distance. Call the number on your screen and order your perfect club today. I promise. It's perfect.
Well, this has been dubbed the year of the quarterback, particularly as it pertains to the Heisman Trophy race, and 2 of the favorites will face off next Saturday in the Swamp. Ken Dorsey against Rex Grossman. Both put up some nice numbers on Saturday night. Grossman dropping 337 and 2 touchdowns on UAB. Dorsey didn't even finish the second quarter before he was out of there against FAMU. 3 touchdowns, 8 out of 13. There was a guy who played a little bit longer and put up some big-time hefty numbers. It is Byron Leftwich. He didn't even have Darius Watts, Mac's leading receiver last year, who separated his shoulder in practice. No problem. He had the number 2 receiver in the conference. Not Curtis Jones, but this man, Josh Davis. Jones, Davis, everybody catching passes. Davis caught 11 of them for 264 yards. Leftwich with a huge night, approaching a 500-yard passing night, a little bit short of that. 27 of 41, 469 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Marshall has a big showdown coming up a week from Thursday on ESPN with Virginia Tech, and that'll go a long way toward telling us what kind of chance he has for the Heisman. As for Rex Grossman, you sense a little bit of tweaking that Florida needs to do?
Yeah, Taylor Jacobs, 8 catches. They got to develop a second and third receiver. Aaron Walker, the tight end, is the best player nobody knows anything about. A tight end for Florida. He's got to get involved this week in this game.
Okay, and we'll see how that unfolds, see if they can find a little help. Maybe Carlos Perez, the guy that Bob recruited at Notre Dame for a while. Kentucky trying to hold on to that 9-point lead. Second half coming in a bit.
You have the ultimate power to look better, to be stronger, to redefine your body and yourself. Introducing the Bowflex Ultimate. Quite possibly the best home fitness machine ever made. In as little as 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week, you can get real results that can change your entire body. With over 90 health club quality exercises and up to 410 pounds of resistance, it's like having an entire gym in your home. Bowflex is so effective that we guarantee you'll get the results you want in 6 weeks or less. Own the new Bowflex Ultimate with no money down and monthly payments lower than many health club dues. Call and ask for a free video and brochure and check out the entire Bowflex lineup or visit us on the web today. The new Bowflex for ultimate results.
Boy, this has been a great way to start the season on the family of networks or not, and still there's more over Labor Day weekend. TCU and Cincinnati tomorrow afternoon, 4:30 Eastern Time. You'll get a chance to see Gino Guidugli of the Bearcats, their fine quarterback, had a great freshman year last year. Cats on top of the card. Second half's coming.
I am an athlete. I move beyond old limitations and allow myself to express freely and creatively. I rely on my team, my family, and my community for support. And they rely on me for effort and enthusiasm in competition and in life. I am strong, capable, and perfect just the way I am. Conference USA. Be there.
Showbiz. You gotta love it. Because we've got the new Hollywood hits no one else has. Show off. It's hard not to. With daring, innovative, new original series. Showplace. This is it, where you'll see Showtime, Flicks, Sundance Channel, and the Movie Channel. All with Showtime Unlimited. Call 1-800-DIRECTV and get 4 premium networks on 9 digital channels. All in one place.
Okay, Wilson, listen up. If we catch them in cover 2, you go deep. 92 blast! Go! Of course the Mike linebacker's going to bite on play action. What do you think, I'm crazy? I'm done talking to you. Be the ball. Be the ball. If a safety falls on the post route, do you think anyone would hear him? I can feel it.
NFL Sunday Ticket on DirecTV. Order the 2002 regular season for just $179.
I now have football! Yes!
Welcome to Papa John's Cardinal Stadium. Louisville trailing Kentucky 16-7. Dave Ragone, tell you what, he deserved the second half rest. He has been beaten and battered in this first half. Somehow picked himself off the ground and managed to get this Cardinal team into the end zone for at least one touchdown.
You know, Mark, and I wouldn't be surprised if we went and said, okay, guys, we had our troubles in the first half, and Dave get to the offensive line and say, you're new. We're trying to gel and work together and get this thing going. And there you see the numbers. Not alarm, not big numbers, but that average gain per play, the one that sticks out right here, Mark.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Bad. Yep.
Yeah, it's just horrible. Passing yards 67. Most of that came on the final drive. They converted twice on 4th down. I think I could hear John L. Smith yelling from the locker room at halftime because I'll tell you what, it was not a very good performance, especially from his offensive line, of which they have 4 new starters. So we're underway in the second half. Kentucky kicking off. Roderick Clark takes it about 3 yards deep, and he's out. He's got the sideline to the 40-yard line. Can he get the corner to the half to the 40, 30, 20? He's gone. Louisville opens the second half with a touchdown. 100 yards on the play, and that is a school record. Oh, how quickly things can change.
I think John L's speech at halftime worked. That's called responding, and that's why they're a top 20 team right now, Mark. They know how to respond.
We talked about offense. We talked about the defense. trying to come up big to turn this game around, but it's been now the third phase of football, the special teams. It comes up big. The first play of the second half, a 100-yard kickoff return to make it 16-13. We'll cut it to 2 points with this extra point if it's good. Nate Smith, the junior. It's up, and it's through. And we've got ourselves a ball game. The Cardinals now down by 2, 14-16 over the Cats. It's Louisville's first 100-yard kickoff return since 1968.
And Mark, you want a guy who hits it north and south on special teams. Sees the hole, no wasted motion. Great block, nice job. Nobody's touching him. To the house, a little over 100 yards. What a great job of not wasting the space that he's given. Have a look-see now, get down the sidelines, get themselves some good blocks. That's just flat-out speed, but that is smart, getting north and south and not dancing around on a special teams play. Great way for Louisville to start the second half.
There have been 3 100-yard kickoff returns in school history prior to this. The last one by Mike Blakely versus Drake back in November of 1968. And Guy Morris somehow has to get his football team back in this game. This is the last thing he wanted to see.
Well, you're not kidding. You got a good thing going. But now momentum definitely switched. We saw the touchdown by Louisville at the end of the first half on great play by Ragone. And now we see special teams. Like I said, great teams know how to respond. And there you see you've outscored a point.
You talk about people who can make great adjustments at halftime, Sean. And you and I have been in enough locker rooms in the halftimes of football games that the good ones can find ways to adjust and get their football teams back on track.
And that was a quick adjustment, too.
That was also Clark's first career touchdown in college. That's one he'll remember, a 100-yard kickoff return. And this one taken on the goal line by Abney. Kentucky, a right return. He's got some room. Finally turns it back inside. Several Cardinal players in on the stop. 30 yards on the return. And I'll tell you what a wonderful, wonderful way to start the second half of this football game. It's just been so hard to watch Dave Ragone be battered. But this, you can just feel the spirits of this team being uplifted by that kickoff return.
That'll help that first half tail whipping. And I'll tell you what, it's amazing how much adrenaline you'll get feeding off the special teams, which inevitably always come up big in a big game, Mark.
So the Wildcats take over, 1st and 10 on the 30. Lorenzen, the dump pass and swing out to the left side. Pinner, Artuse Pinner, who had the big first half, 13 yards on the reception.
Mark, all this is an extension of the run game. Little quick swing pass, little screen mixed in. Get it to Pinner right now. Let him get in space and run the football. He may not look 238 pounds, but that's how big he is. Runs, nice elusive run, just an extension of the handoff, very safe play.
Dwayne White, the big defensive end, left him on block, just threw the ball over his head. Pinner had 33 rushing yards in the first half. And again, another carry here, his first of the second half, and he rambles forward. 14 yards on the game. Finally, Anthony Floyd, the free safety, brings him down. And when your free safety is bringing you down, you know that you're doing a pretty good job in the running game.
And you know, Mark, we talked about Louisville going in at halftime and coming on out here and changing momentum. And now look at Kentucky. Instead of going into the tank, they've answered. Pinner touches the ball twice on a little swing pass and a run. There's those 14 rushes, and he's almost to pushing that 20 mark where they wanted to get him to.
1st and 10. 44-yard line. Pinner back up the middle again. And I credit Guy Morris, the head coach here, from not getting away from his game plan. He said, you know, we want to hammer him, we want to pound him, we want to soften up that defense and control the tempo of this game. And they managed to do that after the big kickoff.
And look at Harp, shielding off Dwayne White, the All-American. Now, White gets in on the tackle, but not till there's a 4-yard gain that puts it in 2nd, 6. And Harp's obviously size-wise outweighed, but does a good job of getting in there and battling. Pinner, 3 touches in a row, Mark, and that's big for UK. And there's no reason to panic. You're still up by 2 points. Sit there and use up some clock. Keep her going over there on the sideline.
Bobby LeFew and Scott Lopez, the 2 defensive tackles, the ones that are getting moved out of there more than anybody right now. We look at 2nd and 6. And again, this time, King, the fullback, is stopped for a loss. Let's send it down to Tracy Wolfson.
Well, you talk about Pinner and then wanting to give him more reps this year. Well, he says he wants to rush for 1,400 yards, and he says that's not out of his league. And running back coach Gerald Carter agrees. He says that the NFL can have this guy. He is an NFL caliber guy. He's bulked up, and he shaved his run time down to a 4.5.
4'5", 238-pound backs have a place in the National Football League. Thank you, Tracy. Lorenzen on the little slide, swing back inside to Derek Abney, but Louisville shuts him down, only 1 yard on the play.
That's a nice job of tackling by the Louisville defense, and we said that's about number 5 or 6 screens, Mark, and I know they wanted to get to double figures, did Kentucky, screening the ball. Even though it was not a big game, you still give yourself a manageable 3rd down, and Louisville, one of the best in the nation, and we're at 4th down now, and the question is, do you go for it, do you punt? No panic, probably punt it away. Yes. So it is 4th down, 4th and 6. Nice job on 3rd down by Louisville to force this punt.
Bring Pakalak out on the football field. He had a touchback previously, 44 yards. He's averaged 41-2 on the night. And we have a flag, obviously a delay of game call.
Prior to the snap, delay of game, offense. 5-yard penalty in the previous spot. Go 4th down.
And you folks at home, this punter has got such a strong leg. They've done that twice now. They want to move him back so he doesn't have to just pooch it, so he can get his foot into this thing.
On the Ray Guy watch list, the number 3 punter in the NCAA coming into the season, and he hits a high one. It's out of bounds around the 10-yard line. They're going to spot it at about the 9-yard line, and that's where Louisville is going to take over possession. 36 yards on the punt, and Dave Ragone, who just got hammered in the first half, will go back out and see what he can do in the second half.
Yeah, Mark, and you see these, and we don't see any sacks right here in this video. We see a lot of hits. Now, I know he's been sacked a couple times, but these start to take their toll, because what happens is you start to feel like you got to get the ball out quicker, right, which disrupts timing. You feel like, oh my gosh, I got to make something happen, and it causes problems. The hits take their toll, and even though you're an All-American quarterback, it can hurt you.
Not surprising they come out in too tight formation and run the football early in this one. Lionel Gates gets the carry. And again, it's not for a yard. It's not surprising that they come out in too tight to try to run the football. But even if they're going to pass it, that's a good formation because you can give some help now to that offensive line.
And you can pass out of it. You give your guys really another offensive lineman with a tight end that can protect. And Ragone has been knocked to the ground 13 times in this game. That's too many in a full game. But you know what? He's also been hit a bunch more times. So they can't take the toll, but he is a battler.
The wide receivers have not done a great job of getting open against man coverage. Kentucky lines up again in man coverage. Ragone has to hold, waits, the post corner. The flag is thrown. We might have a holding call, but we do have a catch. Dante Spielman, the junior college transfer, comes up with a catch out about the 31-yard line.
Mark, thing of beauty. I know we're going to get to this flag here, and let the referee make his call. We'll get a chance to talk about this.
We suspect that we're going to get a holding call on Kentucky, but let's see.
Holding on it. Fine, they'll take the result of the play. First down.
Again, this is the second time now they've gotten Kentucky corners on the post corner move, Sean.
And they're going to come and sell it, Mark, and then get back to the corner. Sell it, now get back to the corner. But look at the nice height on the ball that gives him a chance to adjust to it. Put a little air under it. Let your guy run to it. Beautiful route, but also a nice pitching catch.
That ball was out of his hand way before Spielman came out of the route. So it's now 3 wide receivers right, shotgun formation. Under pressure again, he rolls out, gets rid of the ball, but we have a flag. And it's in the area of a holding call on an offensive lineman. And that's exactly what we have, early indications. From Jim Papatina, the head official here, head referee of a Big Ten officiating crew. Kentucky trying to figure out what they want to do here. Let's listen to the call.
Personal foul. Hands to the face on the offense. Half the distance to the goal line. Go first down.
Yeah, Mark, I've been, critical in the first half of this offensive line with 4 new guys. It's difficult to get into a rhythm, but you also have to take some responsibility, and also a new offensive line coach.
Right.
I mean, they added a coach, too, so everybody's trying to get in a rhythm, and Coons is the only guy who returns at center. But there comes a point in time when you got to start to step up and say, we got to communicate more because they're having a hard time.
And it's not only 4 new starters, but Jason Spitz and Jason Weathers are alternating drives at the right guard position. So in such, you got 5 new guys.
Right.
So again, not a lot of continuity on the offensive line. 1st and 26 for Ragone. Down deep, the skinny post to number 18, Spielman. He comes up big again, and this is close to a first down out over the 40-yard line. Looks to be about 25 yards on the game. That time, plenty of time for Ragone, and you can see what he can do.
You know, Mark, what I like about this is the timing. We're going to come down, we're going to run a skinny post, but watch Ragone set up and get the ball out of his hand right when he puts his foot back there. Set down, put your foot in the ground, and throw it. Nice skinny post. Receiver gives him room inside there before the safety comes over. Excellent job.
Lionel Gates with the carry on 1st and 10. He doesn't pick up much. No gain on the play. And again, one of the things that will help Ragone and help this offensive line is start winning on 1st down. We've seen them in a lot of 2nd and longs, 3rd and 20s. You do that over and over again, you're not going to win football.
Yeah, you could put an all-pro offensive line in there when you're in 3rd and long. We don't have a lot of plays in the playbook, and it's very difficult to block more guys than there is.
2nd down and 10. The Cardinals trailing by 2. Hard count by Ragone. Sweep action. Lionel Gates picks his way for about 5 or 6.
Well, better job on the left side of the line, Mark, saying, it's time. We've been pushed back all the time in the run in the pass. Give ourselves some separation. You saw Gates, who's obviously their best running back in the open field. Get out there and move it. Get yourself a 3rd down, and what we got here, about 5 yards, 4 yards. 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5. Morris Lane on the stop. Good job that time of the pulling guard. Antoine Sims, number 64. They are 2 of 9 on 3rd down conversions tonight, the Cardinals are. Ragone bobbles the shotgun snap. Can't find anybody. Scrambling, looking for the 1st down. Picks his way through and battles his way like a linebacker over the 45 and down to the 44-yard line. 1st down, Cardinals.
If you don't know anything about football and you just tuned in to watch and you're watching Ragone and you've seen him in this game, you don't even know anything about how tough this is because you're watching him, one of the tougher guys you'll see. Low snap again. It's happened 3 or 4 times. Stays with it. His head is up the field. When he finally decides to commit to the run, Mark, he does. Big body like that, people bouncing off.
It's a tremendous performance, a gutty performance. We tuned in, and most people around the country probably did, to see him throw the ball. He hasn't been able to do that, but he's found a way to move this football team. 1st and 10. Over the middle, errant throw, interception. An interception by Quintus Cumbie, but there is a flag on the play. We might have a defensive holding here.
That one got away from Ragone a little bit, but I think you're right, Mark. Holding, I think they got a little hold. Yep, grabbing Ronnie Gent, the tight end, over the middle.
Hard to believe that Ragone would throw a ball in an area like that where you don't see a receiver at all unless he was drugged down by a defender.
Holding on the defense. Holding eligible receiver. 9-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic. 1st down.
Well, you wonder whether or not, when you see that, whether it's catchable. But
there we go, right here. You see the jersey being grabbed right there, Mark?
Yeah.
That's Ronnie Riley, the inside linebacker on Gent. There you see it. Grabbing jersey. That's a good call by the official. Sometimes you get to the point, say, I can't hold him. I can't stop him. I'll try to hold him.
And Riley is a smart kid. The 5th-year senior, the middle linebacker who missed all of last year with that ACL. But, again, beaten. He did everything he thought he could do and then grabbed the jersey. So it's 1st and 10. Going, looking to the sideline. Nice catch by number 88, Victor Glenn. Good enough for a 1st down, 13 yards on the reception.
Now, this is what you're used to seeing if you're used to watching Louisville in the past. Goes up, runs that route, comes back down the sideline, Mark. Good quarterback, throws it over there, gives this guy a chance. But these young receivers are now starting to find a way to work their way back to the quarterback and create some separation in coverage.
And I like Ragone, even though he's had trouble with these wide receivers and they haven't done a good job of getting open, he's throwing the ball on time. He's trusting. You look at this drive, 3 for 3, 60 yards. The first half, 8 of 21, 67 yards. And most of that came on the final drive, the touchdown drive just before half. Play action, bootleg right. This is all run. Ragone will not go down. You're not going to see this guy hook slide. He picks up about 3 yards on the play.
You're also not going to see him try to step on that white marker out of bounds. He feels like he can take on anybody. And I said earlier, and I'll say before, he said if you wanted to slide, go play baseball. He's got an opportunity to go out of bounds. He says, nope, my teammates are going to do it, so am I. Let me compete, get you a couple more yards. That's Dave Ragone. If you're a bunch of pro scouts are here tonight, Mark, and I'm telling you what, you see what a good quarterback is when they're not having their best game as an offense.
Dave Ragone, 37 yards rushing, the rest of the team 8. This guy can't get it done throwing because of the offensive line and the receivers, so he takes it in his own hands and he runs the football. Second down and 8. Back to pass. Has some time. That one slips out of his hands. He had a wide open Dante Spielman coming across the middle of the field, and there is a flag on the play. Another hold defensively, perhaps?
I think so. I think you're going to get another hold on Gent coming across the field in a little crossing route.
But, Sean, this is what we talked about. The receivers having trouble getting open. So what do we talk about at half between the two of us? Run more crossing routes, more rub routes. Allow these guys to find a way to get open.
And there you see, Jeff.
On the defense. Half the distance to the goal line. Automatic. First down.
You saw right there in your picture, Gent running, been held twice, Haydick with the hold. You know, you get beat inside, and everybody's concerned on defense about Gent because he's been such a good receiver for this team, playing it at the tight end. It wasn't a catchable pass, but they held him earlier than the pass was released.
The tight end production fell off a little bit last year. He caught 34 balls for 330 yards, but they wanted to get a lot more out of the tight end position. They've done that in years past, and he's going to be a bigger part of this offense. That's Vincent Burns, number 98, the right defensive end of the Wildcats, who's being attended to right now on the field.
A couple holding penalties, couple big plays by Ragone. A return right coming out of the locker room at halftime. And Louisville looks a little bit more like the Louisville we expected to see, even though they're still having trouble throwing it.
All right, while they're tending to the player, we'll take a break. Back after this.
What's up, bro? Train a lizard.
Right.
Sweet.
Hey. Hi. Tastes great.
Yeah.
Feels even better. Wow.
Man, I think you're trying too hard. So be yourself.
So be you, so be me.
There is a place where nothing you do is ordinary. Even when all you're doing is pumping gas. When you cross into the blue, everything is different and important.
Especially you.
The first oil filter ever made back in 1923 wasn't called an oil filter. It was called a purulator. Today, every car on the road relies on technology pioneered by Purolator. And the same company that invented the oil filter just keeps reinventing it. So that for anyone who cares enough to change their own oil, Purolator continues to mean pure oil then, pure oil now, pure oil later. Now in new pure oil packaging.
Sorry. There are lots of ways to climb to the top. Achieve New Balance.
Welcome back to Louisville, Papa John Cardinal Stadium, where the Cardinals trail 14-16 over the Wildcats, but they're on the move. On the 10-yard line, first and goal. We go. Hands the ball off. to number 28, T.J. Patterson, who picks up a couple.
Mark, I know Ragone's had some success getting out and making plays, but I know John L. Smith, and they've got to find a way to get a little more production from the backfield backs and the offensive line, getting some push, because as the schedule goes on, it doesn't get any. They got Colorado State that's going to come up along the way here.
Florida State.
It's not easy.
Exactly. And again, you don't mind him getting out of the pocket by design, but when he's got to run for his life, that's a different matter. Second and goal now. From the shotgun, spread formation, blitz is on. Ragone throws under pressure, ball is tipped, incomplete. Jeremy Caudell with the tip, the junior, 6'3", 297 pounds, had a pretty good game so far tonight.
And Caudell and the rest of the UK defensive front has been taught well, Mark. If you can't get to the quarterback, get some arms up. Little inside push, get it up there. There you go. Play big, make the big fella go over the top of you. And even if they do get it out, you know what? It maybe comes out high. Nice job by Caudell. Tips the ball. That's time number 3 in this game. It's been tipped and now incomplete.
Ragone's first incomplete pass of this drive. He's 3 for 4, 60 yards. And this is third and goal from the 7. Blitz again, delayed up the middle. Ragone double pumps and just overthrows Damian Dorsey, who was coming out the back door and was going to be wide open for a touchdown.
Yeah, he's wide open. But I'll tell you this, there's Jenna also wide open coming underneath there. We also had Dorsey the other way, but you know what? Don't blame that on the quarterback or the receiver, because Caudell made a nasty lick on Ragone to force the high throw. He's getting coached over there on the sideline, but you know what? When you get hit in the mouth that many times, it's tough to make every play.
So Nate Smith comes on the field. His first field goal attempt was from 52 yards. It was a miss. This one from 24. And we have a whistle, a timeout by the University of Kentucky Wildcats. Guy Morris wants to talk it over. We're going to take a break, but we'll be back with a field goal attempt when we return.
Guys are counting on me.
Gotta go.
Just one night.
Just one night.
Thanks, pants.
Nice pants.
Hi. Nice pants. What have they been?
Presenting Dockers Go Khaki with Stain Defender.
Hey! Hey! Hey, give me the wallet.
Take it easy.
It's my wallet.
I accidentally mugged this guy. Oh. It's the exact same wallet.
Life is best told over a great tasting Miller Lite at a place called Miller Time.
I just want to give you your wallet back, sir!
When you sign up for any AT&T wireless calling plan starting at $19.99 a month, you can get a Nokia 3360 for only $29.99 after mail-in rebate. That's M-Life from AT&T Wireless. Hurry in or call today.
Life changes fast.
1 minute it's about handling and performance, the next it's safety and a smooth ride.
Good thing they have Futuras. They're some of the best tires made.
Futuras just cost less.
They should take the sports car. She looks like she's in a hurry.
Pep Boys, we're car people.
Get more than 100 additional games with the ESPN Game Plan College Football Pay-Per-View Package. It's maximum college football. To order, call your local cable operator, DirecTV, or Dish Network.
ESPN2's presentation of primetime college football. Brought to you by Dockers. Go Khaki with Stain Defender.
Louisville getting ready to kick the field goal. They had a shot at a touchdown, but missed it. Here's why, Sean.
Yeah, Mark, with your big Jason Weathers, you're over 300 pounds. You can't open up the gate on the offensive side. Look, he steps outside, allows 68 Caudell to come in and make the hit. There's the reason the throw's high. You can't step outside. You got to get a hit on that guy inside. You open up the gate, let your quarterback get a hit, and give away a touchdown to 2 wide open receivers.
Well, Kentucky missed an extra point earlier. Otherwise, it would be 17. This, for the lead, it'll be their first lead of the night if it's good. Nate Smith from 24 yards. It's up, and it's good. And Louisville takes their first lead of the evening, 17-16 over the Cats from Papa John Stadium. We'll take a break, be back with more action right after this.
put it all together and everything. So I really hope you like it. And the brownies in particular, I went and I made, you know, and I got the...
ESPN College Game Day, presented by Discover Card, Saturdays, 10:30 a.m.
A timeless battle, Blade. A new enemy. An action-packed DVD.
So exciting.
The Army of the Night is now fully armed with scenes that reveal the secret.
They'll take us in deeper than we've ever been.
Thrilling documentaries, a word with Blade, and more. Wesley Snipes.
Not know who you are.
Blade 2. A new battle rages on a 2-disc Platinum Series DVD.
Get your Blade out.
Hello? Hello?
Hey, it's me, Tanya. What's online this time on DirecTV Customer News?
Well, Matt, there's exciting new DirecTV Freeview events, self-service options, what to do if you're moving.
And
Matt will tell us about his favorite features of the DirecTV automated phone system.
Catch our show all this month, 24/7 on channel 201.
DirecTV Customer News for all the latest buzz about your DirecTV system. See you there.
Welcome back to a little Southern rivalry, Louisville and Kentucky. The Ladybirds entertaining the crowd as the Cardinals have found their way back on top by a point, 17-16 over the University of Kentucky. So after a 12-play, 84-yard drive, it took 5 minutes and 38 seconds to put the Cardinals back on top. Wade Tichlaka will kick off. Taken on about the 6-yard line by Arliss Beach. True freshman running back who weaves his way back through the traffic and finally is brought down about the 40-yard line. Just a reminder, tomorrow, quarterback Gino Gaduli and the Cincinnati Bearcats open their Conference USA schedule as they host Adrian Medis and the TCU Horned Frogs. College football on ESPN tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern Time. For more information, you can log on to ESPN.com.
Mark, you want to see a good tall quarterback? That Gino Gaduli's pretty good, too. Tune in to watch him tomorrow. That'll be fun. Seems like we're saying big quarterbacks on every team in Division I, isn't it?
Yeah, they're big, but I'll tell you what, Jared Lorenzen brings a whole new definition of big.
Offside. Defense. 5 yards complete. No first down.
Mark, I very rarely feel dwarfed by a guy. I know I'm sorry. If I was down there talking to him during warm-ups, he's big, man.
Oh, he's big. He's 6'4". He's not any taller than you or I, but 8 for 14 in the first half. But again, pushing 300 pounds, he could be the biggest quarterback ever to play at this level in college football.
It was Laurel and Hardy when I was standing next to him, buddy.
Artus Pinner with a catch, or the carry, excuse me, as we take a look at Lorenzen's first half. And again, you don't see him under center much, but this guy can do a little bit of everything. That a 64-yard screen pass to Ernest Sims, but he's fleet of foot.
He is, and you know what? A guy like Bernie Kosar, remember we watched Bernie play? The only reason I say that, didn't look like he was doing anything, but was able to buy time with his feet, and he did just that. The big fella can move around pretty good.
2nd and 3. If he's 265 or 70 pounds, he'd be a much better football player. I think he's going to learn that over time. Pinner again with a carry. Stopped by Rod Day, the inside linebacker, number 40, a junior, who is one of the, in fact, the only replacement on that Louisville defense from a year ago.
Which is one of the best in America. Mark, you mentioned about Pinner getting to that 25 carry point and 20 to 25, 30 touches. He's pushing that, which is going to keep Kentucky in the football game.
No doubt, which is why they are only a point down. 3 of 10 on third down conversions for Kentucky, and Lorenzen sticks one in there tight to number 3, Ernest Sims, and that's going to be good for a first down.
Just a good timing, safe play. Although it's a little hitch, a little slant route to the inside guy. Take a look at this. He's going to stop in zone. Sit down. Lorenzen's going to get it out of his hand. 1, 2, 3. Sims sits down in zone before the linebacker gets out there. First down. Safe play, chain mover on the other half of the football field.
Again, we're seeing Lorenzen play after play now up under the center. This is an interesting move by Guy Morris. A little plunge play up the middle to Pinner. gets a couple of yards.
You know what I think the reason for is that, Mark? For that 2-yard gain to Pinner is that, you know, you almost limit yourself in the gun when you're running.
Absolutely.
You limit yourself to some draws and some sweeps. Here now, you get under the center. You've had a little breeze rolling in the stadium, and so if Lorenzen's not losing his breath, you've got more threat of a bunch of different runs with the zone plays with Lorenzen under center.
But if you're going to ask him to start throwing a lot from under center, you're going to get into a conditioning problem. This kid's going to get tired towards the end of the game, and it could be a factor.
Just when we say that, he's in the gun.
2nd and 8 now, 3 wide receivers. Plenty of time. Drives one down to Derek Abney. Abney, the junior, 5'10", 175, the best route runner. 11 yards on the catch, and Abney ranks 7th all-time in receptions for the University of Kentucky.
I love this kid. When he walks in, Mark, there he is, the junior wide receiver. He walks into our meeting, and I feel like I'm looking at a kid who would bag your groceries.
Exactly.
But he's fast, he's competitive, and he was so excited on Friday to play in this football game.
I'll tell you what, he is passionate about the game, and especially about this rivalry. Out of the shotgun, Lorenzen changes to protection. Louisville showing some blitz now. The defensive backs backing away. Plenty of room, steps up, under pressure, wide open. The completion to number 82, Chris Bernard, the junior college transfer. 2nd team All-America from Saddlebrook College, 17 yards on the catch.
And you know what? Lorenzen does another good job of buying time. He's got a great feel for the line of scrimmage. Here's a nice little pitch sitting out there. Look at the job by the receiver not to run inside the coverage, Mark. Against zone, stays out there, stays away from trouble. But look at Lorenzen. Step up there by time. Going to get a hit. Still got plenty of zip. Knew where the line of scrimmage was. That's a nice play by the big fella.
1st and 10, UK threatening now on the 17-yard line. Big fella back under the center. Pinner gets the ball. Bounces it to the right side. Picks up 2 or 3 before he's dropped. 4 yards on the carry. Rod Day on the play, the inside linebacker.
No flag on the play.
Drive killers. Drive killers.
That's where they kill you, Mark, when you're in the red zone and you take yourself back.
Illegal formation on the offense. He only had 6 men on the line of scrimmage at the snap. 5-yard penalty from the previous. Repeat first down.
You know, Mark, the accountability, you talk about 6 men on the line of scrimmage. They need another man up there. And although the guy's got to take responsibility, the quarterback still's got to take inventory and make sure that he's got his players set.
And Guy Morris has got to be upset. An old offensive lineman who played 15 years in the NFL with the Philadelphia Eagles, went to the Super Bowl with the Eagles, coached for 3 years in the National Football League. That's just got to eat him
And
up.
those are the things you can control, where you line up, and that's just a costly penalty for them.
1st and 15 now for the Wildcats, out of the shotgun. Little dash left. Lorenzen off his back foot. Nobody there in the corner of the end zone. Either a miscommunication or Lorenzen just decided to throw it away.
I'm not so sure the old Jared Lorenzen would have thrown that out of bounds, Mark. I like that. That's a win. That is a win by the Kentucky Wildcats because he doesn't throw an interception, doesn't do anything stupid, and I think it was a good decision by him to make that throw.
And it's his first incompletion of the second half, and you can say, well, hey, listen, it's an incompletion, but it does. It keeps the drive alive. You get a chance now, another 2 chances to pick up that 15 yards.
Well, there's 4 downs in the league, Mark. You got 3 of them before you have to kick.
Lorenzen eyes the defense. Oh, little flip pass outside to avoid the pressure. That's Artus Pinner, who can both catch the ball and run the ball. That's good for 7 yards, and they pick up almost half of the 15 they needed.
And, Mark, that's just a little hot swing. They blitz him with linebackers. He throws a little swing pass. And in talking to the coaches, they said last year Lorenzen really had no clue mentally.
Right.
Was a physical guy, go out there and just make the throw. There's Brent Pease, his offensive coordinator in his 2nd season, played quarterback in the National Football League himself. But now you can see with that pickup, Lorenzen has a clue mentally of what's going on the football field.
This half, Lorenzen 6 of 7, 52 yards. Big 3rd down. And about 8. Ball up. But nobody in the vicinity. Ball's incomplete. And that's going to bring out the field goal team.
Kentucky thought they got held a little bit, but hey, you throw it away, you'll take these 3 points, puts them back in the lead. And remember, Mark, let's go back now to the blocked extra point by Dwayne White.
Right.
That put them up 16-0. Would have been 17, and they left that one on the table. Did Kentucky could come back and get them.
So Taylor Begley comes on the field to try a 32-yarder. He's had one attempt tonight, good from 41 yards out. Redshirt freshman. The nerves of a senior. He drills that one through. And the Wildcats find themselves up on top again by 2, 19-17 to score with about 1 minute to play in the third. We talk about Dave Ragone, but I'll tell you what, the University of Louisville has produced some pretty good players, including offensive lineman Joe Jacoby, a former Cardinal, played with those great Redskins teams, and boy, did he come around on that counter tray play.
And that's a 300-pounder getting around a big guy who could run, was a big part of the Redskins. Hogs, the big Hogs up there winning Super Bowls.
One of the first 300-pounders to really run. Let's go down to Tracy Wolfson, who has found the big fella. Tracy?
Mark, talking of big fella, he's 6'7". I look like a midget compared to him right now. But, Joe, let's talk about first his offensive line. You know what it's like. They're a young squad. How hard is it to gel?
Well, the hard part is that they're missing blitzes and stuff like that, and communication amongst each other. And that's why you're seeing the quarterback take a lot of hits tonight.
Well, let's talk about why you're really here. Your number was honored today. Congratulations. How does it feel?
Well, thank you for the compliment, and it's amazing. It's just you know, the years of playing, the comeback, and the success we had in the National Football League with the teams that I was on with the Redskins, and to come back here, your hometown, play for your hometown school, and then to have your jersey honored like that, and it's just been great. It's been a great weekend here, and top it off, it'd be great to see a win tonight.
Thanks a lot, Joe, and congratulations.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, Tracy, thank you very much. I'll tell you, what a heck of a football player. There is no doubt about it.
One of the real good guys, and Mark, we played against Big Joe a number of times,
yeah.
and I mean, I wasn't very good, but I'll tell you what, with Big Joe on my team, I might have been better.
I'll tell you what, Dave Ragone could use Big Joe Jacoby tonight, couldn't he?
Even now, Big Joe find a way to get it done.
He sure would. All right, so the Cardinals and Dave Ragone take over from the 20-yard line. 1st and 10, trailing by 2 in this game. Just a little over a minute to play in the third. Uncharacteristically, plenty of time. Dumps it out to T.J. Patterson, and he stopped immediately, maybe a half a yard on the play.
Mark, the thing that sticks out to me most about Kentucky's defense, obviously the pressure, but the way they tackle. Once again, they only practice twice all summer long in full gear. So you wonder about the intensity, but they're answering the call because they have wrapped up really well tonight and made sure there wasn't a whole lot of yards after the catch.
Guy Morris was concerned about how they might respond, was really forced to do that because of the numbers, probation. He doesn't have as many kids, but they have responded very well. 2nd and 9, they're going out of the shotgun. Oh, right in the hands of Ronnie Gent, the tight end. Uncharacteristic of him to drop a football like that.
Mark that on your calendar because you won't see that very often, but the ball gobbled him up a little, Mark. He's very good at getting his hands out and catching it. He let that thing get into his body, and it ate him up a little bit, and it bounced off his pads. And when the ball's coming out that hard, you got coverage on. Got to get the hands out there and make the catch.
He's been held tonight several times. He's been open, and
he feels like Shaquille O'Neal tonight.
He can't get him the ball because of pressure. Finally, it all works out, and he can't catch the football. 3rd and 9. Ragone untroubled, bobbles a snap, somehow escapes, picks up the 1st down, and he is out to about the 36-yard line. 16 yards on the broken play. This guy just doesn't give up.
You know what? This is a good gun snap, but he just drops it. Watch him continue to play. Had his eyes up the field. That's why he dropped the ball. But he found a way to make it happen. I don't know how you describe the guy anymore than that. The guy's incredible. Continues to battle. He's made something out of nothing happen a lot. He dropped the ball, and it was his fault, but he makes something happen. The guy's incredible.
Well, we're going to take a break as we end the 3rd quarter, but we're back with more action. Kentucky leading 19-17 over Louisville.
NFL 2002 is here,
And this year, Sports Illustrated and NFL Films want to knock you out with the ultimate NFL package. You'll get the official NFL Films highlight video of your favorite team, available on DVD or VHS, plus an NFL team bobblehead doll, both free with your paid subscription. With your official NFL team highlight video, you'll see who'll do what to who in 2002. Call now and you'll also get an exclusive team logo NFL bobblehead doll free. Pick a team, any team. The choice is yours. Both are free. When you order 6 months of Sports Illustrated for only $1.59 an issue, save more than 50% off the cover price. When you use your credit or debit card, you'll also get this fleece stadium blanket embroidered with the Sports Illustrated logo free. Get the best of NFL 2002. 3 great gifts free from Sports Illustrated and nowhere else. Get into it.
Technology sure has changed since I was in school. Take this compact Presario 2800T notebook. Thin, light, powerful. With the mobile Intel Pentium 4 processor M, you get all that. Plus, the built-in networking card and free Windows XP Professional Edition links students to campus. And you can add wireless capability free. It's just $12.99 after $100 instant savings. Just call 1-888-271-1020 now. Talk about lightening your course load.
Beg, borrow, and deal. Coming Tuesday, September 17th to ESPN.
This fall, everything's turning red with Honda's fall values. Check out this deal on some of our ATVs and dirt bikes. 0 down payment and 0 payments for 3 months. And a 7.9% APR for up to 5 years. That's a fixed APR you can count on for real savings down the road. Just one of the many great deals at your local Honda dealer. So hurry in, because right now, Honda's fall values are making everybody look good in red.
Come on already. Why is it taking so long?
Pushing the button won't help.
Shh, it's coming.
This is so frustrating. It's even worse than the elevator.
Tired of waiting on the internet? Move to Earthlink. You'll get online quicker and stay on with fewer drop-offs, pop-ups, and spam.
Okay, you want to sit here and try it?
No, I don't want to sit here and try it. I just want it to work.
Why wait? Move to Earthlink and get your first 1,000 hours free. Call 1-800-EARTHLINK.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Louisville, Kentucky, Papa John Stadium. The Cardinals trailing Kentucky Wildcats 17-19 as we start the 4th and final quarter. 1st and 10 from the shotgun. 3 receivers set left. Go down the middle, wide open. Great play by number 2, the free safety, Quintus Cumbie. Breaks up a potential touchdown. The intended receiver, Damian Dorsey.
Route's good, just getting right down the seam. A little bit too much touch on this one, Mark. You throw that ball down. Dorsey just run a straight seam route, puts his arm up looking for the ball, hung up there a little too long. Great reaction by the Kentucky secondary. If that ball's thrown on a line, that is a touchdown for Louisville. You won't see Ragone underthrow many of those.
Cumbie lays out. If he misses that, that's 6. 2nd and 10 now. Under center. Go. Finds Dorsey on the slant route. Dorsey says, the hardest thing for Dave has been his ability to see me. He's only 5'7". That's good for 11 yards and a first down.
Now, this is the way you play up front. Everybody steps down, sows away the big blitz inside by the linebackers. Hat on a hat, helping your partner out. Gets the nice slant route. Nice pitch and catch. But that's the reason they can get rid of the ball, Mark. Even though it's a slant and it's short, you should be able to. The guys up front, the big 5 up front, do a nice job of letting Ragone stand back there and throw.
That didn't even look like the same offensive line we saw down around the end zone a couple of series ago. 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line. Going back to pass. Drills one. The skinny post. Is it good? No. They say incomplete. Dante Spielman can't haul it in. The junior college transfer. You get a sense of how strong Ragone's arm. That thing was a laser.
Yeah, it was. A little quicker. He might have got it a little too far inside, but man alive, it came out. Nice route by Spielman. And the reason you got an opportunity to push this down the field, just missed, almost made the catch, is once again the protection was outstanding. That ball right there hits the ground. There's no doubt the ball bounced. Good call by the officials.
And great adjustment by John L. Smith, the head coach. Now they're getting wide receivers open. The ball's getting out in time. Here's a run. Lionel Gates off the right side to change things up. This looks like a loss of about a yard.
Yeah, and Mark, for as much as we criticize that offensive line, boy, these last 2 or 3 plays, they've decided to suck it up and get out there and make things happen and realize that we've got to take some accountability, and it's given Ragone a chance to push that ball down the field.
Vincent Burns, who was attended to a little earlier in the game, late in the third quarter, comes up with a play. So he's found a way to get back on the football field. And now the Cardinals face a 3rd and 12.
I'll bet you see pressure, Mark.
Shotgun. 3 wide receivers. And here comes the blitz. He had the time. He had open Victor Glenn, probably not for the first down, but threw it behind him.
A little pressure, threw it behind him. Now the line's giving him a little time to throw, and he got a little bit out of sync. Maybe he's a little shocked that he has this much time to throw. Kentucky holds, Mark. That's huge by them.
It is. That'll bring on Tichlachka. Last kick, 19-yarder out of bounds. He shanks it. His average for the night just over 33 yards. Cardinals need a big kick here to play the field position game. And it's an end over end. Into a scrum. The ball is loose. No decision yet by an official. Louisville says they have it. Official looking for some help.
And I don't see a flag. There's that 2-yard halo, Mark. I don't see a flag, and it looked like they might have gotten that 2-yard halo. I still don't see a call either.
The halo is the space around the receiver. He's got to have enough room to make the catch without being impeded. Now, it was his own team that seemed to be infringing on that 2-yard halo.
And remember, that's a judgment call by those guys down there on the field. And he let his 2 guys that are back there protecting get a little bit too close. And we still don't know who recovered the fumble. We got some officials making the call, and there has not been a flag thrown. So they're not talking penalty. I think they're talking recovery.
J.L. Smith wants to get involved in the conversation. And again, not a particularly good kick, but it was end over end, kind of a knuckleball. Tichlachka has not done well tonight in punting the football. That one was only 31 yards. But you can see right here, his own player trying to get out of the way, and that ball is loose.
Yeah, and
it is loose.
There's no question about it, Mark. And those 2 players, you got to have the discipline to know that you've got to give your guy room to catch the football. They got too far back into his face, made it almost impossible for Abney to make the catch.
The backup tight end, Richard Owens, recovered the fumble.
The ball did not hit the receivers. It's Kentucky's ball. First down.
So the ruling is that the punt never touched a Kentucky player before the Cardinals recovered it. As we take another look, I don't know if we'll see it from this angle.
Tell you what, if it didn't touch him,
wow,
they got away with it. That's a lot of bodies for it not to touch anything.
Here's another look from a different angle. It does. It touches number 35, Travis Atwell.
They got away with it.
The ball touches Travis Atwell before it is recovered by the Cardinals. Unfortunately, as we see flags fly here, there isn't a review play. This is not the National Football League.
Ball start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Go first down.
And Mark, you're talking about that, the one that hit, and hopefully we'll get a chance to see it again, is that when there's 4 bodies around it, normally if the ball's not hit, it takes a bounce and goes everywhere. Right. The ball would stop dead, almost like a Bellata golf ball. And if we saw the replay, hits him right in the belly. Take a look now at number 36. It's going to hit him on the left side of your screen.
30, yeah.
It's going to hit him right in the belly. Comes up. Another angle you could see it from, but hit him in the belly blatantly. That was a fumble. Kentucky got away with one there. Big 10 officials in the game. They've done a good job most of the game, Mark.
Jim Lapatina and his staff.
Matter of fact, that might be the first botched call as far as blatant goes that I've seen in the ball game. They've done an excellent job, but that one they missed.
It should not be the difference one way or another in this football game. It's a 2-point game right now. Kentucky leading by 2 with just under 13 minutes to play. And this will bring up a 2nd and 13 for the Wildcats. Whistles. procedure call.
Prior to the snap, ball start, offense. Private penalty, second down.
Take a look here. He's going to say it. Dwayne White's going to jump in there, and he's going to jump. There you go. You think you're a little scared of 99? Might be, but I guess I would be too. That's Antonio Hall jumping a little bit. And with Dwayne White, a lot of guys jump, Mark.
No doubt, but tell you what, Jared Lorenzen jumped in his offensive lineman's face. He realizes how critical this drive is, deep in their own territory, trying to drive out of this hole. 4 wide receivers.
He's changing the play here.
A little 5-yard out. Incomplete. Intended for Abney.
Lorenzen trying to communicate, telling those guys up front. You saw him checking around, trying to direct traffic, and like we said earlier, a year ago, mentally they said he had no clue.
Right.
And so he's a little bit more in charge and understands how important the mental side is at that position.
He told us when we sat down with him in the production meeting, he says, you guys drop anything you want to on the board. He says, I can tell you what it is, I can tell you how to break it down, how to protect it, how to throw it against. He was a very confident young man.
9 months ago, he wouldn't have been able to. You're exactly right, man.
3rd and 18. 4 for 13 third down conversions for the Cats in this ball game. Lorenzen out of the shotgun. Plenty of time. What a shot. Finds a way to squeeze it into Tommy Cook down the right sideline. That's good for 32 yards, and that was close to being 6 the other way.
They said one thing about Tommy Cook, he catches everything. The key to the protection is, look at the top of your screen. You're getting a double by the guard and the tackle. Dwayne White gets nowhere close. Nice big pocket for Lorenzen. Steps up, throws a laser shot, and that's a long throw in college football. Clear across the field. Nice job by Cook to use his body to shield the corner. Gets himself a chance. Big first down.
So a new set of downs at the 46. High formation. And again, back working the running game. R2 Spinner, number 20, picks up 3 yards.
And Mark, the reason why that's bigger, this Louisville defense the last 2 years has been as dominant as any in NCAA. They're in the top 3 or 4 in almost every category in pass coverage. And right there in scoring defense and interceptions and takeaways. But that big third down play can be a backbreaker. And what a nice pitch and catch by Lorenzen and Cook.
That was a long comeback throw. Spent a long time in the air and was close to being an interception. But again, a huge third down conversion. 2nd and 7. Play action. Lorenzen finds his receivers covered, pulls it down, and just goes to the ground. Swarmed by the Louisville defense.
And there's the difference between Lorenzen and Ragone. Ragone gives himself a little more time, gets to the sideline, cuts it back in. But Jared just doesn't have that straight-ahead speed that allows him to get to the sideline.
Marcus Jones, Bobby LeFew in on the stop. And Lorenzen has enough agility to make people miss, make that initial guy miss, but he doesn't have enough to outrun people.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
He's not going to beat me and you in the 40, but I'll tell you what, there you see the pressure. Both these guys under pressure. Lorenzen less than Ragone, but both of them have been knocked down. And Lorenzen, you see 9 times. Ragone's been in double-figure knockdowns.
4 sacks for the Louisville defense, 3rd and 10. Under pressure, back across the middle of the field. But no, Abney says he caught it. The official says no, incomplete. What a throw. Lorenzen going to his left, stopping, throwing back across the field, which we have been taught all our lives don't ever do.
Don't do it. It's one of those.
Almost got it in.
Yeah, it's one of those. Don't throw. Oh, nice throw. Nice throw. Oh, to be young and have a strong arm. A little bit of a wobbler. Gets there from that angle. Can't tell if he got his arm under it. Abney was adamant about the fact that he did, but guess what? Refs say no, they're going to punt. 10 minutes to go in this game.
Glenn Pakalak. Glenn Pakalak is back. His last punt, 32 yards. This one, a good one, down to, it's fumbled. The ball is fumbled. Anthony Floyd could not hold on to it. And Kentucky is going to take the ball. Mike Williams with a recovery. What a big play.
Mark, I'm not so sure. You see Williams is getting blocked, but I'm not so sure the returner didn't feel him take his eye off the ball, hits him in the chest, loses it. Williams with enough sense to jump on the ball, being the first man down the field. That's why every single play you've got to hustle on special teams.
So Louisville has the ball bounce against them with a bad call on the earlier punt, and now this time drop the punt reception, and Kentucky takes over with the turnover from the 19-yard line, up 2 points over the Cardinals. Pinner. Every time they get the ball, every time they have a big conversion and they move the chains, they turn and hand the ball to R2 Spinner.
And they expect him to do this all season long, Mark. And with 238 pounds of bulk and some quick, shifty moves, I think he can carry it. And he's showing us why he believes and has said that he's going to be a big-time runner and pushing that, as Tracy said earlier, thinks he can get to 1,400 yards this year. In a tough SEC conference, too.
Picks up a yard on that. 2nd and 9. Power eye, slot left. Louisville crowding the line of scrimmage. 8 people in the box. Lorenzen back to the flats. Incomplete.
Mark, can't make that throw. That was dangerous. Good thing for a strong arm. Great coverage, but he had him undercut. And I know Lorenzen's trying to be safe, but you got to read it out honestly. A lot of times quarterbacks come and premeditate it and throw where they want to at the line of scrimmage without reading it out, but that's a dangerous, dangerous throw.
Mike Campay was the intended receiver. Lorenzen, 13 of 23 for 195 yards and a touchdown, but he's been sacked 4 times. And this is where he's had problems. Late in football games, when he gets tired because of his weight, when the mechanics start to fall apart a little bit, and he makes bad decisions. At least that has been his MO in the past.
And you know how it goes, Mark, that when you're physically tired, you become a mental coward at times. We all do. The key is to be able to overcome that and try to. He says he's in the best shape of his life, so maybe that conditioning will pay off for him. But this team's also been criticized, has Kentucky, of being a team that cannot close in the fourth quarter. They've had chances last year, had a chance against Tennessee to win football games, and they have not been able to close. And they got a chance now against the 7th or 18th ranked Louisville in somebody else's house to put a game, at least put it close to putting it away and giving them some trouble.
So they start the play clock, and it's 3rd and 9. Guy Morris and Lorenzen talk it over. Lorenzen lines up the shotgun. Flushed out of the pocket, on the run to the left. Throws it in the back of the end zone, incomplete.
That is a smart football play. I know it's 3rd down. People say we want points, but he throws it away, throws it up there. If somebody gets lucky and catches it, but you keep your team in field goal range. Now if they make this, it's going to take a touchdown. You got to like this. He sits some pressure. Wonderful decision by Lorenzen. Don't criticize at home. Good job. Realizes I'm not taking a sack. He would have made it a 48-yard field goal. Instead, I'm going to give my field goal kicker a better chance, because now the difference in a touchdown and a field goal.
So that brings on Taylor Begley. He's been good from 41 and 32. This one is from 34 yards out. To put the Wildcats up by 5. It's up, and it's no good. Wide right. So, the Cardinals dodge a bullet. John L. Smith dodge a bullet. We're going to go to break. We're back after this.
Next time you're on the road and you need to fill your tank, here's something to consider. New Shell gasoline is specially formulated to help prevent deposit buildup in your engine, which helps keep it clean. And a clean engine performs better, which is why when they're looking for more from their gasoline, so many drivers choose Shell.
Sorry, I got that receipt in here somewhere. Driver's license, bus transfer, $1 off fish sticks.
Actually?
Floss. Just in case. Movie stub, a mint.
Actually, we keep everything right here, just in case.
Right. Just in case.
People lose stuff. That's why we can store purchase and warranty information automatically, so you won't have to search anymore. Circuit City, we're with you.
Floss? Who flosses anyway?
I floss.
I floss too.
Bottled water getting expensive. Try pure filtered water, just as good as bottled, at a price that's 10 times less. Doesn't that sound better? Pure water filters. Your water should be pure. Besides saving you money, the pure water filter is so easy to install and use, you already have all the tools you need. Pure water filters. Your water should be pure.
What's up, bro? Train a lizard.
Right. Sweet. Hey. Hi. Tastes great. Yeah. Feels even better. Wow.
Man, I think you're trying too hard. So be yourself.
So be you, so be me. Welcome back to Derby City. And the Louisville Cardinals, ranked number 18th in the country, hosting the University of Kentucky Wildcats. The Cats find themselves on top by 2, 19-17. As Dave Ragone and the Cardinals take over after a missed field goal from the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Let's get you caught up with the second half action. The Cardinals, trailing 16-7, open up the third quarter on the first play with Broderick Clark, deep from his own end zone. Returns it to the right side, a 100-yard kickoff return, ties a school record. Dave Ragone, which struggled in the first half, been hit. In the second half, 5 of 12. 72 yards, has found a way, whether it's through passing or running, to get this football team in the end zone.
They're trying to change the tempo with the no huddle now, Mark.
That ball overthrown. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 10.
Mark,
I'm sorry, Sean. They dodged the bullet again with a missed field goal. They have an opportunity here. They don't want to go 3 and out.
Right, and they're going with no huddle. It's not one of those quick no huddles or hurry-ups. They're just trying to change the substitution situation. The offensive line's done a much better job. First half, 18 hurries, Mark. The second half, only 3 hurries. So they've come to play here in the second half, has Louisville's offensive line. Looks like a different unit, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Well, they've got a spread offense here. Empty backfield, shotgun, 4 wide receivers. And here comes the blitz. We're going under pressure. Has no place to go. Number 2, Quintus Cumbie. The free safety, right up the middle, unblocked. Unaccounted for in the blocking scheme.
You know, sometimes, Mark, sometimes on a blitz, you kind of time it if you're a defensive guy and hope you hit it without going off sides. And he does an awesome job. Look at this. They're coming through here, coming here. Watch Cumbie here coming through. Boop. Nobody touches him. That's on the quarterback, but Dave had no chance to even set his feet. Great timing by the blitzer. Sack. We're going to have a change of possession here.
So Louisville will now have to kick. Wade Tidlachka, last kick, a 31-yarder, no return. Remember, you had that fumble. And this one almost blocked. In fact, they might have gotten a piece of it. It spirals out of bounds at about the 37, 38-yard line. 29 yards on the punt before it goes out of bounds. And he has not been reliable. Dion Holtz, number 64, the redshirt freshman, gets the hand on the ball. We take another look.
Take a look at this freshman getting blocked also, Mark, right here down the middle. Getting blocked. But look at that. He uses the one free arm to get it up. Once again, Kentucky's done a great job of using their arms.
Look how long it takes him to get this ball off. You're kicking from your own end zone. That ball has got to be gone.
Yep. Holtz didn't allow himself to be blocked. Great effort.
So this could change the game around. Lorenzen comes right out, tries to get the ball into the flat. The ball is incomplete. Great fortune for Kentucky. They get the kick run back on them on the opening play of the second half, but they've dodged some bullets here and still find themselves with a 2-point lead, 19-17.
Okay, Mark, the fourth quarter's been no good to Lorenzen in most of his career. 12-20 you see in the first 3 quarters. Only 1 completion out of 6 attempts here coming down the stretch in the fourth quarter.
Again, it's his mechanics. If you watch it, mechanics break down. It's time. He says he doesn't, but you can see it.
When you carry 300 pounds, it ain't easy.
No, it's not easy.
There's no question about it.
If you're just joining us, we're here in Derby City Papa John Stadium. Kentucky versus number 18 Louisville. And right now Louisville looks to be shocked. Down by 2 against the Wildcats, who are on probation. Mark Malone along with Sean Salisbury. Tracy Wolfson, our sideline reporter.
We talked about special teams. The kick return by Louisville, the block kick on an extra point by Louisville, and the missed field goal by Kentucky. Inevitably, we better get a timeout here. It's running out. Inevitably, special teams seem to always rear their head when you got a big game, and it's killed Kentucky tonight.
All right, while Lorenzen takes a timeout, discusses it on the sideline, we're going to take a little break, but back with more action right after this.
Rejuvenate your 75,000-mile engine with Pennzoil High Mileage Vehicle. The new motor oil specially formulated for the needs of your older, wiser vehicle. Pennzoil, we're driving protection.
Buy a case of Pennzoil High Mileage Vehicle and get a set of 4 floor mats, now at Kmart.
I remember I was craving a cheese sandwich, only I didn't have cheese or a car. So I built my own ride. At the same time, an unsuspecting Mr. Yang Lem Chu was getting in his car. We rode 400 miles until fate intervened in Cheddar, New Mexico, at a house of cheese. And I can't help but think, was this coincidence or part of something bigger?
All right, let's see here. 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. A real fixer-upper for artistic creative types. Formal dining room, a sweeping staircase. Oh, honey, a fireplace. Isn't that so fabulous? Honey. What do you think?
We'll take it.
The new 6-speed Acura CL Type S.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Papa John Stadium. Mark Malone along with Sean Salisbury as the Wildcats find themselves up by 2, 19-17 over Louisville. And this is a very critical 3rd down play, Sean.
There's no question about it. You know you're going to put him in the gun to prevent the sack, Mark. At least try to. But it's a good decision. If they play man, good time to run some picks and get a guy trailing underneath.
Well, this is 3rd and short. It's 5 yards or less. They're 2 of 4 in these situations. Sims in the slot's got man coverage. Lorenzen is going to tuck it and run. Can you bring him down? What a load. It looks like he's going to be short just over the 30-yard line. Needed to get to the 31 for the 1st down.
Now, Mark, what he's done there, even if they don't get the 1st down, he's at least made the field goal attemptable, if that makes any sense. You get a chance now in that 46, 47-yard range. But now Morris faces this. You say, I'm trusting my defense. We played great. Let's go in there. We're up by 2. Let's go in there and try to get this on 4th down. Or do you say, give me that and make them score a touchdown on the other
here's
end?
the other interesting thing we saw earlier. We saw Lorenzen on a quarterback sneak when it was short yardage
Going
situation.
in the red zone.
When you got a 300-pound quarterback, it's not a bad option to go ahead and call the sneak and go ahead and get this guy falling forward.
And I can assure you the 11 guys on offense and the offensive line say, we got to go for it. We got to go for it. This is one of those things it almost builds your confidence for the rest of the season, saying this is what we do. They're going to be about a football shy, Mark. And now
and I'll tell you what, you've got a freshman kicker who just missed his last field goal attempt. I'm right here, given the fact you're coming off a 2-9 season, you're on probation, you're hoping that your appeal for a bowl ban will come through in November for you. I say you go for it.
I do too. You've got a big guy, Artus Pinner, and if you want to give it to the quarterback, do that. You know, you're risking it a 47-yard field goal. I know that if the field goal gets you up by a touchdown, I'd love the call. Show your team some guts and let's go after it.
Okay, they're 1 for 1 on 4th downs tonight. Louisville shifting their defense. It looks like a quarterback sneak to me, and that's exactly what it is. And look at the big fella push the pile forward. It looked like they stopped him initially, but I think he got enough for the 1st down.
Yep, and that's the time when Guy Morris says, I'm so glad I threw out the scales because I got some push from the big man using that backside and those legs. And that extra push got it, Mark. That's a 1st down. Nice gutsy calling those guys up. This just builds that camaraderie and confidence for your offensive line throughout the rest of the season, saying, I believe in you guys.
Let's see. There was a refrigerator Perry in the National Football League. What are we going to call this guy?
Icebox, man. Full of food, too. Take a look at that. Pushing away, getting it in there. A lot of beef. I like the second effort. That is a first down.
Just a warning there to the Kentucky sideline. No penalty on the play. John L. Smith, the head coach of the Cardinals, looks on, looking for his defense to come up big. Fresh set of downs from the 28-yard line. Screen. Oh, almost an interception by the Cardinals. Again, this football team has not been able to come up with a big turnover on defense. And we have a flag on the play. Michael Brown was the man who almost came up with a pick. And that's exactly what the Cardinals needed in this situation. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Cardinals. This is going to hurt.
Play was over. Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct on a defense. This is the goal line. Automatic first down.
A little ticky-tack there.
Yeah, and aside from the unsportsmanlike conduct call, when you go back to Lorenz's decisions, we talked about his inability to want to throw the check in or play smart. He's done a good job of it this game. That one could have cost him. Now they got the penalty. It would have been erased. But you got to be careful in throwing balls that you think you can stick in when you can't. But that is a huge penalty. Huge.
5 straight incompletions for Lorenzen, who has had trouble with his stamina in the fourth quarter. Only one of his last 8 balls has he completed. Missed a little dive play up the middle. Worked so well early on. That's Ronald Johnson, number 41 with the carry.
There you see offensive coordinator Brent Pease. First thing he's thinking is we must come away with points, Mark. We need it because if we can get a field goal, now they have to score a touchdown. But if we can come away with a touchdown the way our defense has played, I expect Brent Pease to still be a little bit aggressive. You got this. Why not challenge this out here, Mark, when you got man throw a fade route to this kid?
Lorenzen instead pitches right to Pinner, who bangs his way up to about the 10-yard line, just short of the 10.
That's a quarterback talking, Mark. When there's man, I like man. I'll take those chances.
I'm looking at the same formation with you, Sean, and I believe the same thing. You got a guy sitting out on the island out there. You got a big-time quarterback with a big-time arm, and a guy like Abney, who led the team in receptions a year ago, who you trust, who you know will make a play for you and won't allow the interception.
No doubt, and if you're Brent Pease and there's Coach Guy Morris, and Brent Pease calls the plays, the offensive coordinator, you know what? Don't be too conservative. If you're going to run left and get it in the center of the field, but you know what? Don't be afraid to take your chances and be smart about it.
3rd and 7, the pitch. Playing for the field goal, perhaps. Pinner banging away inside the 10, but it's not going to be enough for the first down.
This is no-brainer. You have to kick now, Mark. You got to get that 5-point lead to give yourself a chance to hold it, to trust your defense. You cannot go for this.
You've knocked considerable time off the clock, and the clock continues to tick at 4:44 and counting. And you can bet that Guy Morris is going to take as much time as he possibly can. Kentucky finally taking the time out here, it looks like.
And, you know, Mark, you think on that last play, I was talking about running to your left to get it in the center. But with the field goal kicker, the left footer must love it on the right hash because of the old draw that goes left to right. They probably wanted him to get it on this hash because that's where he likes to kick from instead of the center of the field.
Well, he's 2 for 3. He's good on a 41 and 32, missed the 34. This from 26 yards. And we have a flag. I'll tell you what, you work and work.
Go 4th down. The clock is starting to snap.
You work and work to get down there. You get a couple of things that go your way. You knock some time off the clock. You get down there where you feel real comfortable for your kicker, and then you allow something stupid like that to happen.
No doubt about it. We saw that game Michigan and Washington where the Michigan kicker answered after missing one. Good opportunity for Kentucky to do the same today.
Kentucky, 11 penalties tonight for 79 yards. This one from 30 yards out, and it's good. 31 officially, the field goal for Taylor Begley. And that puts the Wildcats up 22-17, forcing the Cardinals to have to score a touchdown with a little more than 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. We're going to take some time here, but we'll come back with the remaining minutes of this football game.
Now this is big.
Now's the best time to buy wireless phones and digital satellite TV during the big sale at Radio Shack.
It's so big. It's
DirecTV and Dish Network for less than cable. Get 2 rooms installed starting at $29.99 after mail-in rebates.
It doesn't get any bigger than this.
The big sale now at Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
I got a question for the folks at Radio Shack. Who's in charge of spelling around here?
What about the hands to the face? Are you calling that over here?
NFL kickoff weekend begins Thursday on ESPN. They were the NWO, and they changed the world of sports entertainment. Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Hollywood Hulk Hogan witnessed the first days of the group that changed the face of wrestling.
You can call this the new world order of wrestling, brother.
The whole story of 3 men who revolutionized wrestling right through the last days of what proved to be Scott Hall's final curtain with the WWE. NWO Back in Black, premiering Wednesday, September 4th, and all month long on direct ticket pay-per-view on DirecTV.
The rivalries, the upsets. Your football is more Saturday than Sunday. This fall, get up to 12 top college matchups each week from outside your local area with ESPN Game Plan from DirecTV. The best games, the major conferences. It's maximum college football. But you can't just tune in. You've got to order ESPN Game Plan from DirecTV. Order now and get maximum college football for just $99 or 2 payments of $49.50. To order, call 1-800-GET-SPORTS or log on to DirecTVSports.com.
Welcome back to Louisville, Kentucky. Number 18, Louisville, trailing the Wildcats 22-17 in what has been a shocker. Just over 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Dave Ragone, the Heisman hopeful, will now try to lead the Cardinals on a game-winning drive. Kentucky kicking off. Back to receive, Broderick Clark, who had a 100-yard kickoff return earlier in the game. And he's loose down to the 25-yard line. And sent it down to Tracy Wolfson.
Yeah, guys, these next 4 minutes are huge for Dave Ragone and his Heisman campaign. This school is hoping that they can come away with a win because they produced 3,000 of these bobbleheads. Look, with the facial hair and all. But only 500 of these are actually going to be sold. So if you can get your hands on one of these and they win this game, it could be worth a lot of money someday.
That's right, Tracy. The rest of those bobbleheads went to major media outlets around the country. Ragone has done everything he can possibly do. The offensive line has not been good. The wide receivers have not always gotten open, but they start the drive from the 25, 1st and 10. Under pressure again, escapes. Out of the pocket, is hit and down at about the 27-yard line, but there looks to be a flag on the play.
Any area of holding looks like Mark.
I want to know how you can hold if you're getting hit that much.
Well, you think there'd be no pressure if you're getting held, huh?
My goodness.
It's interesting, Mark. You know, we saw the numbers 13 to 34 on Ragone, but don't be misled. And a lot of times...
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty in the previous spot. Go first down.
A lot of times what happens is great quarterbacks find a way to win when their statistics aren't good. You don't care about it. You know, those guys that can go 7 out of 21 and make the play when it matters. Ragone's obviously got that capability. So while Heisman's about statistics, you got to look deeper than that and say what the guy's been dealing with all night and still managing to keep his team in a game.
When they needed the touchdown before the end of the half, he was gassed. He found a way to run the ball, get out of trouble, make the pass when he had to, and score. And they need to have him come up big now. Again under pressure, escapes, looks downfield, intercepted, but there's a flag on the play. Irvin Flowers comes up with the ball, but the flag is coming from deep in the secondary, and this could be against Kentucky.
Pass interference. Defense. 5 foul. Automatic. First down.
The penalty on number 27, Leonard Burress. Let's take another look at this thing.
Mark, there's the holding right there. You see him grab his jersey. He does it right in front of the official. That's a good call. That is a very good call. And the hit Dave Ragone took, he got sandwiched. Take a look at this real quick, Mark. Front and back. Boom! You're not supposed to get up from those hits. That's a tough quarterback.
He has been Braveheart tonight. Scramble left in the backside. Pressure hit as he throws. And Ragone is down. Ball is incomplete. He's slow to get up. Jeremy Cottle with a hit, number 68, who's had a big night from the right defensive tackle spot.
And, you know, both sides are playing hard, but look at Cottle's effort to the quarterback. He's number 68, and the pressure coming from the backside. But you know what, Mark? Eventually, as an offensive line, and they've done a better job in the second half, 23rd knockdown. He's been to the ground 23 times in the game. There comes a point in time as an offensive lineman, enough's enough, with the sense of pride that says, you know, I can't get my guy killed. And that's 2 plays in a row. I don't know how he's surviving.
He's gassed again, number 15. 3:25 left in this game from the shotgun. Under pressure. Throws the screen, but the back gets caught up with the lineman in this one. Lionel Gates can't get to the football. And again, that was a poorly conceived play.
They read the screen well. There's a ton of confusion here at the top of the field. Take a look. Got a receiver coming inside. Going to muddy the water with the screen. Too many bodies over there. And linemen in the way of the throw. Plus there was Cottle. Yeah, and there was Cottle was on pressure again, Mark.
6 straight incompletions now for Ragone. 3:20 left. 3rd and 10. Bubble snap. Ragone gets away. Directs traffic, throws it down the field. It's tipped and intercepted. Mike Williams, the outside safety, picks off the ball. Ragone hammered again when he was throwing the ball by Dwayne Robertson.
And Mark, that's a case of an All-American candidate and a Heisman Trophy candidate who's been doing everything for him all night. Going to the well once. There you see him a little bit tired and upset on the sideline. There's, first of all, horrible snap for about the 6th time out of the gun tonight. Ragone keeps it alive, trying to direct. Ball comes out a little bit high. And when the ball's tipped, eventually things like that are going to happen. Mark trying to make a play. But this looms as one of the great upsets early on. Kentucky's defense looks like a team who's a top 5 defense. Don't they pressure all night? Yet they were one of the worst in NC2A last year.
People were looking ahead to September 26th when Florida State rolled in here to see whether or not this number 18 ranked Cardinal team was for real, but they don't look like you're going to get past Kentucky here, a team that went 2-9 and a team that with a win tonight will make their entire season and look like Guy Morris is headed in the right direction with this program.
Mark, and we all have that 3 or 4 minute drill now with 2:50 left to go to be able to control the ball and not let Ragone, who's a great player, get another shot at this. You've got to get a couple first downs. Remember, Louisville's coach John L. Smith told us this team did not practice well in the fall, and it showed tonight.
Picked up 5 yards on first down, makes it 2nd and 5. Again, up the middle. That's Pinner. Picks up a couple of more. It's close to the first down marker, and it looks like we have a timeout. The clock is stopped with 2:21 left.
Mark, you made the point, and you stressed the point that Kentucky said, we got to get him the ball 25 times. That is running back Pinner. I think he's at 26 carries. They got a 5-point lead. Man alive, it's amazing how these things work out. Pinner, 26 carries. I think he's at about 83 yards, Mark, and there it is.
83 yards. 83 and a touchdown so far in this game.
To hit it.
Cardinals, 3 timeouts remaining. And they did not take a timeout. They must have stopped the clock to spot the ball. But it's not a first down. It's 3rd and inches. And the clock is running now. Buck 47. And again, the quarterback sneak with a hefty lefty. Jared Lorenzen. Lorenzen and this UK football team have been dominated by the University of Louisville. But tonight, a record crowd of 42,660, including some Kentucky fans, have witnessed one of the big upsets early on in college football.
Protect that football is what they're going to tell them on the sideline, Mark.
We have an injury on the field. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll conclude University of Louisville and the Wild.
When you sign up for any AT&T wireless calling plan starting at $19.99 a month, you can get a Nokia 3360 for only $29.99 after mail-in rebate.
Welcome back to Louisville, where the Cardinals trail 22-17 with under 2 minutes left. That's Bobby LeFew, the defensive tackle, the sophomore. He's being helped off the field with a leg injury. And the crowd here has been silenced as Jared Lorenzen and the UK Wildcats are on the verge of pulling up a huge upset here over number 18 Louisville. All right, Louisville's going to take a timeout. So let's go back and look at the critical 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1
look at
for
this.
UK.
There's the line of scrimmage, Mark. They're going to get to there. That's called push by your guys up front. Nice push, dominant. Got a quarterback who's helping out, who's as big as those linemen. But that's when it comes to the critical time, when you're inside of 2 minutes, have to get some push and not give Ragone another shot at it. There's your first down. And there's what, we're down to 2 timeouts left for Louisville. So you just got to be safe, and they're going to tell Penner to hold on to the football because he's carried it 26 times and he's been outstanding tonight.
Well, check out the total yards because the total yards was amazing. Kentucky 270 total yards. Louisville with Dave Ragone and this great offense, 189 yards. The offensive line has been porous at best. Ragone has taken a beating. They haven't been able to put together a running game. In fact, Ragone is the leading rusher and leading passer for the Cardinals tonight. So the play clock now ticks at about 15 seconds. There's a minute 43 left, 1st and 10. And they hand it off to R2 Spinner. And we get a quick timeout by the Cardinals. 3 yards on the game.
Amazingly enough, you saw those, the 187 yards Kentucky's defense has given up tonight. Last year, they were 109th total defense in the NC2A. And they told us in the meeting, they were embarrassed by that. And so they've stepped out here, all talk Lorenzen and Penner. The defense has done an awesome job. The pressure they put on tonight has been unbelievable.
It really has. And again, we can't reiterate to you out there how big a win this is for the University of Kentucky, not only for their football team and their program, but for head coach Guy Morris, who is trying to pick up the pieces after Hal Mumme left and this football team and this program went on probation.
And there's no question, and his hand, the hand he's had, the cupboard's been bare. I mean, he's had to make this happen with a lot less guys during training camp. And on the other side of the ball, when you look at Louisville, this is a football team that wanted to break that BCS party because they felt real good. Right. But as Coach Smith warned us, we're not that good a football team, and they got to go back to the drawing board.
Again, you look forward, they've got Colorado State still to come, Florida State, as we mentioned, on September 26th. But the big hump was getting over the University of Kentucky. Again, you've got a lot of young players. John L. Smith, who's had a wonderful career and turned programs around, done a great job in 5 years here. Just wanted to get through this first game, and you look at the schedule.
Not
easy. Some pretty good football teams
out
there.
Not easy.
Absolutely.
Won't be easy
UAB,
going on the road.
Cincinnati, Southern Miss. I mean, not to mention Colorado State, Florida State, as we mentioned. So, again, they're going to lick their wounds after this one, try to get this up. We can probably say, too, that for Dave Ragone, his Heisman hopes are probably over after this game.
Well, after you watch what Leftwich did yesterday, you might be right, Mark. But he gave a great effort. Statistics misleading. His effort was single-handedly kept him in a game.
It was a Heisman Trophy effort. There's no doubt about that, but he didn't get much help. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with the conclusion of this football game. The Wildcats lead Louisville 22-7. Welcome back to Papa John's Cardinal Stadium at number 18 Louisville. The process of being shocked 22-17 over the University of Kentucky. A minute 32 left, and we've got 3rd and 5, and they really can't stop the clock, assuming they don't pick up the first down here. What do you do on 4th down?
You know, Mark, I sat there and looked at it, and the conservative part of me says I'll run it twice or pooch it or do something or kill it. But you know what? A field goal here, after a nice big field goal by Kentucky last time, I might kick the field because then you put the game completely out of reach. I know you're worried about a block, and you got to take that into consideration. But he's trusted his players, has Guy Morris. I kick it if I don't get the first down.
Well, we'll find out here if they have to make that decision on 3rd and 5. Lorenzen on the naked boot, stiff arms the defender. He's got some room, finally slides wisely before going out of bounds. That's a good play by a quarterback there to keep the clock running. Minute 18, 17, and ticking away here. And again, I don't think you kick the field goal
And
here.
they might just punt this ball, Mark, just a little tap punt, and make them go
the way your
distance.
defense has played, the way the offensive line of Louisville has played, I put the game in the hands of my defense. I get after Dave Ragone, who's been gassed in the second half.
And, you know, Mark, that's a great point. Plus this now, maybe you take the penalty, back it up 5 yards, and give your punter a little more pooch room, try to knock it out of bounds, and make them go the 80 or 90 yards it takes. With that sack right there, I think it's a good idea. Don't kick it now, being the fact that it becomes almost a 50-yard kick. You don't want to do that.
John L. Smith watches that precious time tick off the clock as UK now takes a timeout. And we're going to take a quick break here. This game is not over. Will it be an upset shock? UK Louisville. We come back.
Introducing the next generation, the new 2003 Ford Expedition, a knockout new level of driving control, and the first and only full-size SUV with an independent rear suspension that will take on any move you throw at it.
Must run in the family.
The totally new 2003 Ford Expedition. It has no equal, it has no boundaries.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Louisville, Kentucky. Number 18, Louisville, trailing the University of Kentucky Wildcats. Mark Malone, Sean Salisbury, and Tracy Wolfson. Just a reminder that Mac Tools U.S. Nationals is coming up next year, right here on ESPN2. Guy Morris got to make a decision. 4th and 8, 44 seconds on the clock. Do you kick the field goal? Do you pooch punt it? Do you just go ahead and try to run the football? They've had some time to talk about it. Personally, I think you do a little quick kick here. Get it off. Try to put them deep in their own territory and make them drive the length of the field with under a minute to play.
Yeah, and it looks to me like, Mark, they're going to get up and go to the gun, and
there you go.
Maybe they just sweep Lorenzen. I don't know. This is a...
I'd be surprised if they put it in the air. There it is, the pooch kick out of the regular formation with nobody back. Good call by Guy Morris. The ball down inside the 10 with 37 seconds left in this football game.
And you know what? There is a flag down. But I like the pooch kick, and you know what? Get him back there, let him do it, and obviously turned out better than a punter could, too, Mark.
He's got more flexibility and more athleticism than I think maybe we give him credit for.
No question about it.
He's a gunslinger. He loves to throw it, and he can throw. We've got a UK player down on the field. Can't see the number.
For people at home that wonder, why don't you kick a field goal? It becomes a 51-yarder. You know, before that, before Lorenzen gets slides, before he goes out of bounds, it's 47. Maybe you consider it, but at 51 yards, you don't do that. Wise play. You made a good call there.
After a play was
looks
over,
like the time.
dead ball. Personal foul, late hit, unnecessary roughness. Then it'd be half the distance to the goal. First down.
So that's Chase Hart, the tight end number 11, who is up and moving around, but has a little sign for Louisville. And here it is right here. The penalty, as they watch the ball, Harp goes in there, picks up the ball, slides out of bounds, and there you can see the body flying. And again, that's just losing your composure, upset. This is a shocking loss, or what looks to be a shocking loss for Louisville. And
that was cheap.
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
Bottom line, cheap.
Absolutely.